ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Síbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò mà ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrú ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹrú tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀rọ̀ pa òrí dání wọn. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pé kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Odò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe làlà òtọ́ láì bá dé, stress of ìdákùn ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Kíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣé rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀. Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà, kò lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní dàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò já àríkùn má ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn ń lò wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lọ tẹ̀jẹ̀. Alámọ̀ a ò mọ̀nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra. Pọ́sọ̀ fura, pọ́sọ̀ fi jọ́ sí iná. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Tíbi tirẹ̀ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò má ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ilẹ̀kùn bá jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣòwò bá ládàlẹ̀ ayé, àgbà tó ti fi tó mọ̀ ọ́la yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà rẹ̀, ẹ jẹ́ ká má ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ikú pàlàmù tí ọ̀rọ̀ yẹ lọ́lọ́gbà ògiri àmọ̀ṣẹ̀dá tó wọ́n ti fi gbogbo ìbàjọ́ra ìmọ́lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀.
Yes, good evening, my people. It's a pleasure to have you on another special edition of the Jagbajanti Show. My name is Akin. I'm your regular host, and thank you for connecting with me tonight. I welcome you wherever you are listening to me from. I would like you to just drop a message in the comment section. Let me know who you are and where you're joining from. It's going to be Well, a sober night because I will be talking about something very sensitive to me, and but I think I'm ready to I'm ready to talk about it. I've not, done this for a while, but yeah, I think I think the time is due to do it. As you're coming in, please help me share this show on your platforms. Help me share it on your story. Tag somebody, invite somebody to connect. Um, I strongly believe that it is a show that will benefit um, a lot of people. But if they are not aware that something like this is going on, then unfortunately it can't be of any benefit to them. So you will be saving a soul by just sharing this or inviting somebody to connect. Let me check through the comment section to see those who are here already. Yes, my sister Mojisola Lade Adegboyega, thank you for connecting tonight. It's a pleasure to always have you on the show. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o, ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé o. Ó yẹ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ni. Ọjà ò dájú nílé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́ rà o. Odò náà dẹ̀ láyé, ó ń gbé ni lọ. Tá a bá mọ̀ ọ́ wẹ̀. Ó deep. Yes, my sister, since Esther Adiola, all the way from the United States of America, at least, Momo here. Thank you for connecting. First time I'll be here from beginning. I know Billy come out today. Yeah. It's great to have you on the show. Thank you for connecting. As you know, the only title offering we receive on this platform is just for you to invite somebody. So just press the share button. You want charging it, and it costs you nothing. And you don't know who you might be saving, because words are important. Somebody might just hear something and, it might be the word they've been waiting for. And that will turn their life around. So do your bit. Right. I shared something yesterday on my platform. It was a reminder from 2014 of something that happened to me. It was a low point of my life. So, and I received an overwhelming support from people. People really showed empathy, and also I found out that there are people who are also going through the same rough period that I experienced then, presently. And I thought, you know what? I might say something that would help them. Because the topic I'm discussing tonight wasn't the one I had in mind to do. It was a last minute thing. Because I thought, the purpose of this platform is to inspire lives, is to help people get their life back on track, is to, open up new perspectives to people, is to help people unlearn and learn new stuff. So, and I sense, you know what? I shared my story. Many people connected. And there are others who expressed their difficulties, even though they could not go into details, but I can feel what they are going through because it's a place I have been, and at that it's a very dark place to be, and you need any form of light. You need any form of light to help you out of that dark place. Unfortunately, I didn't have this kind of opportunity to listen to somebody who have similar experience. Didn't have people around me who I thought could, help me out of the situation. And that's a common problem with, people who are suicidal. They don't speak out because they feel people around them are not talking real. Um, at that moment, they don't just want people to pity them. They want something more than that. And they think, no one around can offer that. So they rather just keep quiet. So I understand. And that's why I thought, you know what, let me just come out and say something. And you never know. Somebody might be helped, you know. Um, I won't be speaking from the position of a professional. I won't be speaking from the point of view of academics. I will be speaking from my point of experience. I'll be sharing my own experience, things I went through. And I would do it in such a way that, almost everyone can connect. This show is not only for people who are suicidal alone, it's for everyone because we're all facing the same life issues. Some are just, good at managing the situation better than other people. So, but no one is exempted from the issues of life. There's no shame in saying I was weak and I was almost consumed. I don't feel ashamed saying it. But I think I came through it and wiser and with something to share. Whoa. Right. So if you are just connecting and you've not shared, please help me share. Help me invite somebody. And I'll try as much as possible to not make it a very long night. But if it is, then then so be it. But it's important that we discuss this. So the topic for tonight's discussion is what I titled Suicide. My story. Almost every day, we hear people, committing suicide or, people talking about it. And it almost becoming a taboo. It's almost becoming a topic people don't want to discuss publicly. And people have different views about it. Some say people who commit suicide are cowards. Some say they are selfish. Some say they are weak. But do people really know what they're talking about? Do they really know what they're saying? In some discussion, people would say, ban this substance that people use in committing suicide, take this away from them. But look, there are 1001 ways to carry out a suicide, and you can't possibly um, prevent all these ways. You can't. And that tells you that that is not where our focus should be, you know? And even discussing suicide itself and making it such a big deal, it's also a wrong kind of focus as far as I'm concerned. Because suicide is the last act a person carries out after they have gallantly fought and lost the battle of the mind. So suicide is just an end. What we should rather, be focusing on are what I call the triggers. And there are many of them, and they vary from person to person, and these triggers are simply the element of there are things that our mind is constantly battling with. These are the real issues that we must be talking about. The toughest battle anyone can fight is the battle of the mind. These are the real battles, because you have to fight this battle alone. You win alone, you lose alone. And if you lose this battle, then the last act you carry out is suicide. It's like a warrior falling on his own sword. So for people who says people commit suicide are cowards, no, they're not. They fought. It's just that you didn't realize it, because some people are good at masking what they're going through, and I was a guy like that. I didn't look like what I was going through, and people who knew me then around this time also will find it strange that this guy was going through this at this time. But you see, that's the issue. Not every calm exterior is a true reflection of what is going on the inside. In my own case, on the outside, it seemed like I had everything held together. Everything was smooth and, well laid out. But on the inside, I was a mess, a total wreck. And nobody around me had a clue that I was on the edge, I was still doing normal stuff people would do. I still sang in church 2 days before. We had a baby 2 days before. But I was just on the edge. So I will go through my story in timelines, and maybe I won't go into details in some areas. And there's a part that I will completely leave out, because this is a part of me that I've locked up in a cupboard with a big sign not to be opened. Because there's no time I open it that I remain the same. So I'll leave that completely aside. I won't I won't go there. But I want us to, okay, for people who maybe after reading the topic or caption thought, okay, it's going to be like a sobbing story tonight, and you have your handkerchief and bucket. No, I won't make it one of such nights for you. I would make it a night of solution, a night where people can be encouraged, a night where people can pick up something to help them get back on track. Or people who are not at that level yet can, guide against getting to that dark place. That is what I want to focus on. But obviously, in doing this, I'll have to, at some point, share personal experiences and, talk about things. So, suicide, as we all know, is the act of, intentionally wanting to take your own life. And there are two categories of people in this, under this big, umbrella. So when we say people who are suicidal, I'll say there are two classes of them. The first one are people who suffer from mental disorder. So this ones are just, they have mental health issues. They're sick mentally, and as such, they just want to carry out self-harm. They just want to hurt themselves. Well, oftentimes they don't even know what they're doing. So some of them are diagnosed, so they know they have this condition, and some don't, because maybe it's until after they die that they would say, oh, this is what happened to this person. And people in this category are just, not as much. This is not the category I belong to. The other category is for people who are impacted by the stress of life. And this is where majority of the people fall into, myself particularly. And when you are at this point, you are hopeless. You feel like there's no point in living. You're overwhelmed with negative thoughts. And all you see is that this pain you're going through, this hurt you're going through, has no end. So you feel alone, Oftentimes you can't put your thoughts together to express yourself. And when you look around, you don't even think people around you have the solution you require. So you don't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. I bottled it all up. I don't want people pitying me. I don't want people saying, and telling me things that I've heard before. I want solutions. And I thought no one around me had that solution. So I kept to myself. And when this is prolonged, you will slip gradually, into depression. You'll be having poor sleep. You won't have, appetite. You'll be losing appetite. Some will gain weight, some will be losing weight. Some, would start losing that desire to take care of themselves. They start looking shabby. You know, some start, avoiding other people. They just want to be alone. They don't want to socialize. They don't want to be in the company of other people. And people start, to communicate becomes a struggle. And some start self-harming themselves. I'm sure many of you have seen people who cut themselves up. So I showed some of these symptoms. I easily disconnect or detach from people. But it's hard to know that, okay, what are you okay? Because normally I only talk if I have things to say, and half of the time I'm quiet. I hardly go out. My life is in a triangle: work, church, home, finish. So it's difficult to pick up anything to suggest that this guy is going through this. I'll still looking neat and clean, still dressed well. So that also didn't give any clue. I still smile, I still make people joke and everything, but I was dead inside. So these triggers, which I mentioned earlier, should be our focus. They are a combination of different things. Or basically, let me say, three parts. Three parts. Let me group it into three parts. For those who are just joining, I said there at the start, I'm sharing everything I figured out in 4 years. Not book knowledge, not academics. I'm talking here. I'm talking of real life. And I'll be real and raw as much as I can. Some of the things I'll be talking about, the principles and everything like that, they don't fail because they're like the strategies of war. They're standard. But the way you apply them is what might differ. And that is based on your personal circumstance. That is based on what stage of this problem that you are. But the principle never fail. So I wish I had this kind of platform. Then it could have helped. But it was fine. It's fine. I went through it all and learn things the hard way. And that is why you can't take this experience from me. If it's academics, I know many of you on this platform are well learned. Many of you have better qualification than I do. You can argue some point out of me. But in this case, these are things I figured out. So there could be more that I haven't even realized. So, but I'll share the little that I know. So, as I was saying, this triggers that lead us to this final act of suicide. I would put them into 3 categories. So the aggregate of these three categories are the triggers. So the first one is the category of things that would struggle with daily, our daily struggles, from economic survival. How do we survive, to what people term as stagnancy in their life, especially people who put themselves under who set unrealistic demands or targets for themselves. You see, so over time they look at themselves and they think they're stagnant. They judge themselves by other people's standards and say they're not progressing. They're not moving forward. And what I learned is this. Now, when I mention anything that has to do with my own situation, then I will give you the lesson I learned from it. So I just want to take everything together as a whole rather than, put them into sections. And no, I want to build up a whole image. So economic survival, I don't think any one of us is exempted from that. We all want to be able to pay our bills, and live. And that is the basis, foundation. It's when you can survive and you can build other things on it. And you can think of other things else. And the mistake many of us make, including myself, is that we don't focus on survival first. We try to do too many things at the same time. We can barely survive, but yet we're aspiring to do other things that are beyond our reach. This will cause us problem. It will trigger something. Stress. So I learned to focus on survival first. Because it is after I can survive that I can think of doing other things. I mentioned stagnancy. It's a trigger. As long as we measure ourselves with other people, we would always fall short. We will always see ourselves as a failure. We will always see ourselves as stagnant, backward, not achieving. What I learned is that you can only measure yourself with yourself. You need to measure yourself by the little progress, little steps that you take forward. Look at where you are yesterday. Look at where you are today. Look at what you can do yesterday and look at what you can do today. That is a progress. You are moving forward. You're doing well. The moment you compare yourself with somebody else that has a different goal and desire in life, somebody else that has a different path in destiny, somebody else that has other factors that you don't know of that helps them to to progress, then you will always be under pressure. And you see yourself as a failure, you see yourself as being stagnant, you see yourself as not progressing. We have people who are in toxic relationships and they refuse to leave, thinking of what will people say, thinking of where do I start from, thinking of how do I go from here. What they fail to realize is that the same energy they used during that difficult situation is the same energy they would require to move their life forward. They only need to take that bold decision, because if they do nothing, nothing would happen. They cry, they pray, they do all these things. You have to do something. To change your situation, you have to do something. Some people are unhappy with their work. Some are facing bullying at work. Some don't just like the work. They wake up every day and they go, not again. But because they've got bills to pay, because they've piled up so much financial burden on themselves, they cannot stop, or they can't, make the necessary change. And they are dying daily. Some set unrealistic targets for themselves. And many of us do this because we fail to we ignore to acknowledge that there are stages in life. And we must recognize every stage of our lives. Level tí mo wà nsìn ni. Nǹkan tí level ìgbà ni. There's no shame in it. You are just being real. That is what would help you not to overstep your boundary. That is what will help you not to copy other people's lifestyle, because you understand your own stage of life. That doesn't mean that is where you will be for the rest of your life. You will move forward. You will move forward. But failure to recognize this will put you in a whole lot of trouble, because you will start doing more than yourself. You overestimate your own worth. You set unrealistic target for yourself. By this, I must do this. By this, I must do this. By this, I must do this. Failing to understand that life has its twists and turns. There's so many factors that are beyond your control. And they will play their part to ensure that some of those targets you set for yourself are not realized. And what do? You feel disappointed. You feel dejected. You put yourself on a lot of strain. You talk yourself down. You lose your self-esteem. Daily, you speak negative about yourself. Ayé ẹ ṣe wá rí báyìí, báwọn tí ẹ ṣe wá dà báyìí, gbogbo nǹkan kan le, gbogbo nǹkan ò le. Ìwọ ló understand wípé This is my stage of life. This is what I have the ability and the capability to do. And you don't move from that spot until you get to the next stage. When you handle that stage well, that's what will move you to the next level. So these are things, or these are some of the triggers in the first category. The second category of the triggers are the consequences of our past choices and decisions. Some of the things we've done in the past, or some of the things we failed to do in the past, they all have consequences. And when they come, you must face them. Many of us, that's why we run to churches, run to pastor, run to woli and do all this. We want to pray those consequences away. You can't. No, you cannot. And the pressures that some people are facing today are not today's battle. Gbogbo wàhálà tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ń là kọjá lónìí, àná wọn ló ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ òní. Bí òní ò bá dẹ̀ rí ìdáhùn fún àná, òní ò ní fi tó ń bẹ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ sílẹ̀ fún wọn láti fi ṣayé. Ayé á wá nira. And that's why all the time, bàbá ti fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan, bàbá ti fẹ́ ṣe lónìí, máa rántí o. Ọ̀la béèrè o. Ọ̀la béèrè. Àná béèrè o. Àná béèrè lọ́wọ́ òní. You can't escape consequences of your action and decision. You cannot. You can't pray them away. You can't escape them. You will face them. And when these consequences of your past decisions and choices jam body with your daily struggles, á dà pé kò jáde láyé. Á dà pé kò jáde nílé ayé. So I learned that there's no shortcut. You have to face the full course of the consequences of your decisions. You will serve the full punishment. You will serve the full punishment. Taking any shortcut, finding your way out, trying to ó máa pẹ́ nínú ogun yẹn ni. So this is something you have to come to terms with. You have to rest in it. But yes, èmi mo ṣe nǹkan báyìí, mo ṣe nǹkan báyìí, mo gba nǹkan báyìí láàyè, mo ṣe nǹkan báyìí láàyè, and this is repercussion lóde yẹn sìn. Okay, I have to accept it. So this one you must accept, otherwise you will suffer from it. Acceptance would minimize the pain. It won't take the pain away, but it will help you just, help you to deal with the pain. But if you fail to recognize, if you fail to admit, and you are struggling with it or trying to, work your way around it, you will suffer. And then the last category is just what you have no control over. Life by default comes with its own complication. Look around you. Nobody got it figured out. Everybody come gbìyànjú ni. And that's why the Yoruba say any koku eba ye lomo lo. We're all just making efforts. We're all just trying. But what will go wrong will go wrong. What will go right will go right. By default, by design. But if you are able to manage the part that is within your control very well, then the part outside your control will work hand in hand with that one you've done well for your good. But when you leave what you can control and start focusing on what you can't control, well, no problem. All these things I mentioned, they don't just happen at once. They pile up over time. So that thing you should have done yesterday that you left undone. Kokurombe o. Utuma add mote ni. Bo shele ni. Tola to join ni. Friends you should have cut off. Some loopholes, a lot of things that you should have, tightened up and done with over time. Those they will pile up. Titi to ma fi overwhelming. Now, people who commit suicide don't want to die. They only don't want to live that life that they are living. Ìyàtọ̀ wà nínú méjèèjì. People who commit suicide, they don't want to die. And that's why I said suicide is just the last act that they carry out. It is that life that they're going through, that life that they're living that is unbearable for them. Another point I remember now that I missed out in the first category is also loss of loved ones. Some people lose their partners, people lose their children, and they can't recover from this. They can't handle the loss. And this piles up with all other things and send them into that dark place. And then they can't handle that life. The feeling is so overwhelming. They want to do everything possible to stop that life. And then they think, taking their life is a way out. Let me share with you how mine built up. The first experience I had, because this one that happened in 2014 was actually my second time. The first one was in 2005. I was less than a year in the country then. I came into the country, no support. cultural differences, weather, pressure. I came in as a self-sponsored student. Mo rí iye tí mo máa gbà lówó iṣẹ́. Mo rí iye owó school mi. Kò match up. It can match up. Mo wà round, mo rí pé ìlú ọ̀dájú ni ìlú òyìnbó. Every man for himself. Then there is this pressure from home. Àti débẹ̀ náà nísìnyí báyìí o, they have expectations. Expecting this, expecting that, I felt choked up. So on this fateful day, I'd done different jobs. I started off as a street cleaner and then got another job as a kitchen porter. But by this time that this one happened, I started working at the London Underground. So on this day, I was stationed at Hammersmith Station. That was where I was working on this day. And the feeling was heavy on me, and I told myself, no, I have to put an end to it today. I told the other guys at work that, I'm going home. They felt, whoa, because I'm the guy that will never leave work before anybody else. I'm the last to leave. Even when others are like, taking their leave and stuff, no, I will stay till the end. So for me to say I'm going, they were like, this is strange, but they allowed me. I got on the bus and then I was heading for the Thames. I was gonna jump over the bridge and just end it, because I took the trip from Nigeria to England. I took it as a one-way trip for me. This place had better work or no other way. So what I saw in the few months in the country was a bleak future for me. My staying in the country was dependent on my visa. My visa was a student visa. So I had to go to school to be able to remain legal in the country. I don't have the funds. There's no work I can do after deducting my living cost that can make me earn enough to pay my fees. So you can understand why I was in that situation. So I thought, you know what, Ikuya Jesse. When I got to the Thames, I was stronger than suicide. Remember I said, suicide is not weakness. You fought. You simply lost. But on that day, I was strong. Somehow, I don't know where the strength came from. Rather than carry out the act, all I was doing there was just crying heavily. Got back on the bus, headed home. I cried all the way to the house. Kilo share, my housemate were asking me. I couldn't even say anything. I cried till I, cried myself to sleep. Woke up the next day and continued as normal. I didn't learn nothing. I didn't learn nothing from it. But what happened afterwards, I met some other people who introduced to me other ways I could actually study and still reach the same end. So I went through the path of professional courses leading to my degree. It was still expensive, but by 27, I got a job in a property company that was, well paying. So I got a bit of stability. I could afford my fees and then continue my life. But I'll keep emphasizing this. I learned nothing. I didn't learn nothing. I didn't learn nothing. So that didn't go away because I learned nothing. It was still there. Or it already formed a platform. Ó wà ńbẹ̀. Ó kàn dormant ni. In 2009, I got married. I got married to a good woman. A woman that never stressed me and put any pressure on me, that didn't push me beyond, what I can do. A woman that allowed me to grow at my own pace. So I'm very lucky with that. A year after we had that baby, and the pressure started piling up again because my wife was in school. We had the baby to look after. Finances weren't enough, but we kept on, going for it. My boss at work had started misbehaving and started paying whenever he likes. Things were just getting all over the place now. God sent us a very, very lovely our UK grandma that was helping us to look after our son. Then we moved from, living very close to where she is to a place very far off. So it wasn't easy anymore. So what we do is we leave our kid there, and then I'll collect him on Friday and then drop him back on Sunday. I was losing it because àbímọ ẹyọ kan á lè wò. Kí nìdí mo ń lọ ṣiṣẹ́? And then my wife also got a job when she finished. But it was, I think, over 3 hours train commute from home. So she has to leave very early. So my son started nursery. We're still not having that much time for him and stuff like that. So in 2013, I told myself, you know what? You're losing on both ends. You're losing at work because what you go out every day to do, you hardly come home with anything. You have just a son. You can't look after him. So what's the problem? What's the point? The pressure was crazy now. So in 2013, I resigned from work. I was going to take a different direction in my life. In 2012, I'd set up a business, but obviously it wasn't enough to cater for our survival. So it was what I thought I would do on the side. I'll build on the side until it's strong enough. But I thought, you know what? I'll leave this work and just focus on that. And you've heard so many motivational speakers tell you, you can't be a millionaire working for other people. You have to get your own job. You have to do your own business. Yeah. When they gas you up and push you up the edge, bó ṣe máa balẹ̀ ò ní dà. So I moved away from at least Oshe. Something is guaranteed at the end of the month. Ìgbà tí n bá tó rí náà ni I moved to where I have to eke out every pound. But I gained something. I gained my son back. So every morning I could take him to nursery. I saw a new lift in his life. I saw springs in his steps. There was one horrible morning. I was having a horrible time because I don't know where the bills will come out from. I was taking him to nursery and he was bouncing. So I asked him, "Are you happy?" He said, yes. Then he asked me back, "Daddy, are you happy?" I paused. Waiting back song, before my But I said, yes, I'm happy. And I was happy. Because he was happy. I was happy. On the other side, I wasn't happy. Because I was a mess. On the hindsight, and if I'll be real with myself, I shouldn't have gotten married at the time I did. Because I wasn't ready. Marriage is a responsibility. Raising a family is a bigger responsibility. It has nothing to do with age. You have to be ready. You need to have everything it takes. And you need to move slow. You need to have grips of things before you plunge into it. But I didn't know any better. I didn't know because that is the best. Yeah, that's how we console ourselves. That's what they say. You know? I'm not talking in terms of regret now, don't get me wrong. But what I'm saying is lessons to learn from all this. It's just for people who are hearing me tonight. And nothing pressure yín pé lọ múyàwó wá, but ó mọ̀ pé àti fẹ́yàwó ò tẹ́jọ́. Ó wọ ọbẹ̀ ló ṣòro. Ìwọ tó tí lè dá bọ́ra ẹ̀. Fẹ́ lọ fẹ́yàwó. Ìwọ tọ́rọ̀ ayé ẹ̀ gan ò tí yé, o mọ bí tó ń lọ. You don't even understand yourself. You don't have any form of self-awareness. You don't have your life under control. And you are succumbing to pressure to take that huge step. And they are blackmailing you with ọjọ́ ń lọ, àgbà ló ń dà ẹ́, ìwọ làkọ́bí ilé àbí ìwọ ni kinní kan and all those things. You better take your time because it's not smooth. It is not smooth. Tó bá tún wá gum body pẹ̀lú ẹni tó jẹ́ pé bàbá ńlá psycho ni, ayé máa sú ẹ. So fast forward to 2014. we had our second baby. Second baby nínú kò sówó. So I had to reconsider my decision and went back to work. And this time around, I joined the NHS. Before I joined the NHS, it had gotten so bad that sometimes, and I kid you not, when I'm walking, I don't look up. Mo máa ń wo lẹ́lẹ̀ ni. Bóyá máa ti rí £1 here. But throughout this period, I survived. I survived. I survived because I could do one or two things with my hands. And in the last 2 weeks alone, I've had people, even up till tonight, I've had people contacted me and said, "Oh, brother, I need advice. I want to do this. I want to do that. Should I find a work to do or go to school? This blah 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 blah. I've read this. I want to further this and stuff like that." And I give them my honest advice to say, focus on survival first. Certificate will only get you an interview. That is the maximum thing a certificate will get you. Skills is what will feed you. Throughout this period, it was skills that fed me. Some of the people are asking this question can even barely afford to pay their fees. Education is not only sitting in the four walls of a classroom, writing a series of 1 hour, 15 minutes exams over 4 years, and somebody, sit down somewhere and grade you and say you have 2-1 or 2-2 or third class or whatever. That's not what decides your life. It is what you can do. So you can get educated in skills that can actually help you to feed yourself. Not getting educated to have certificate. I don't know if there's anyone else listening on this show that didn't attend their own graduation. I didn't attend mine. I don't have no graduation picture. I don't have nothing. I only requested for my certificate because I was not motivated. I wasn't motivated. àti àti ẹ̀pọ̀ ń bẹ̀. Mo rò pé mi nìkan ni. So in this period, it was some skills that I've acquired that sustained me. Even though mi mọ̀ gbà tí iṣẹ́ yẹn máa yọ, but somehow á kàn ṣáà yọ. Àdẹ́ sáré ṣe àdèmá jẹun one thing papọ̀ àdèmá lè sanwó. This taught me some valuable lessons. I'm not saying live wretched, but live on an overhead that is low. You have no point to prove to anybody. You have no point to prove to nobody. Máa rántí ìgbà láyé o. Ó máa ń yí ni. Tó bá jẹ́ pé high level ló wà, tígbà tí ò rọrùn bá yí kàn ẹ́, don't be too big to downsize. Come down. Come down to a level that you can manage. Don't bother what people will say. Don't care about the jeers and the mockery of people around, because they won't give you money to survive. So why do you care about their opinion? Focus on your survival. So if you need to downsize to be able to manage your bills, then do it. But what I've noticed is many people will still want to maintain that high level and plunge themselves further into debt and lose everything in the end. What you need to do immediately you run into hard times is to plug as many outgoings as possible. And leave only those things that your survival is attached to. And tí bàbá yí padà náà, má kú gìrì tó kọ́kọ́ fowó torí yẹn lọ fi ra bẹ́ẹ̀ pé mo láti padà, let me show them pé I'm back. Tí back yo, o place ọwọ́ àwọn ogun ìdílé ni. You have to still maintain that same low profile and put things aside for the raining day. So I went back to work when the second baby came, and this was when the second attempt and the most critical one happened. On the day I wrote that post, I just thought, you know what? I can't go on anymore. Like I felt the first time, where it was as if the two pillars of life was, collapsing on me, like crushing me. And I was looking for just an exit. This time around, I was hearing voices telling me what to do. So after I left that post on Facebook, I put my phone down and left the house, because that voice told me to leave the house. And it told me to go and to go and jana mokolen. Because I don't have a gun, I don't have any substance I can take. But in Conte, don't yen so for me. On the moon tell. And I left the house. I remember I was barefooted. I didn't wear any shoes. I left the house. Even that day, our baby was just 2 days old. It was me and my madam in the sitting room. I left her side. She didn't even know where I was going. I didn't say nothing to her. I didn't have my phone with me, so no one could reach me. And I was just following that voice. I went to the main road of our house then. It's a dual road, but single lane for each traffic. And I was walking in the middle of the one where the oncoming traffic will probably hit me from behind. So it wasn't one where I was facing the traffic. And I was screaming. So I wasn't just walking quietly. I was behaving very violently. But something strange was happening at the same time. From one of the high-rise buildings around, there's this laser light. It kept on shining on me. I don't know how dodge it, the light will come again. I said, who is this? Who is this? Who is this person? I was just honestly, I was just I was just there waiting for a car to run me over. And it didn't happen. I didn't get killed. And by the time I got back home, my phone was filled with missed calls, especially from people who read my post, because they thought it was unusual. It wasn't the light of the Son of God though. I say lẹ́kàn ló ti ń wá látòkè. Ẹni ẹ ṣáà ń point iná ẹ̀ sí mi, ó ṣáà kò sí mo ṣe iná ẹ̀ ṣáà ń tẹ̀lé mi kiri ni. Àwọn laser light tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ban gan pé kán má máa lò because ó lè já aeroplane yẹn, irú laser light yẹn ni. So it was after that incident I told myself, you know what? I don't want to feel this way again. I have to do something about this. I can't be here. I don't sleep. This was a period I prayed more. This was a prayer I served more. This was a prayer I did fasted most. And this was the same period I suffered the most. Mo ń kanra máyé kiri ni. So life kept giving me the answers that I never wanted. But I found out that ìbéèrè tó bá bi ayé láyé máa dá ẹ lóhùn. So if life is giving you answers that you don't want, then you need to change your questions. You need to start asking the right questions. So I stripped my life bare. And this is the toughest part for anyone to do. I've met so many people who, to be honest, they know what their issues, they know what their problem is. But the fact that they have to take 10 steps backwards to be able to take one good step forward, they don't want to do it. The fact that they see so many things that they have to undo, relationships that they have to break down, things that they have to um, um, tear down, and they don't just want to do, they don't want to, make that effort. They will because you have to realize it's not at the moment that you realize you have a problem. That's not where the solution is. That moment tori issue yes, is good. That is a good. The only thing that has done for you is that it has, set you on a track to find freedom. But you have to walk that path. And that might require you to trace the problem back. How long? I don't know. You keep going. Because ibi kan lo ti ṣí. Ibi tó ti realize yẹn kọ́ lo ti ṣí o. O ti ṣí láti ibi kan. So you have to go back to that point and go and correct it there. Learn what you have to learn there, then start the journey back. That is what many people don't want to do. And that was what I started in 2014 or 2015. First, I started with religion. All this while that I was serving, praying, fasting, sowing seed, and all these things. What those things only gave me was to just keep me alive till the next day, till the next week, till the next month, till the next year. They didn't have a solution. You just hear words that gives you hope. But after that, there are real things that you need to do. Incidentally, it was also at the same time I was having issue in my previous church. And it opened my eyes to a lot of things. I've been having my doubts, for years. Some things I see and things I hear and things I read weren't adding up. So I've been having my reservations, but I was even at that point here that I could, look at this thing eyeballs to eyeballs and say, you know what? No. But I took that opportunity. One thing that gave me, and that's the first principle I learned, is that I am responsible for my own life. Religion makes you lazy, weak. It makes you run away from taking responsibilities. It makes it easier for you to blame other people for anything that happens to you. Blame household enemy, blame witches and wizards, blame bosses that hate you, blame friends that are plotting your downfall. You keep pointing away from yourself. And where you need to do things, you don't act, you look up to God. You pray so many redundant and empty prayers. Prayers that will never be answered. But then we thought we were doing something positive. It was just a wasteful exercise. Because we've been blessed already. We have been blessed. God has given to us all that we need. But we only didn't realize this. So first and foremost, I had to sort this out. Go back and, establish the promise he made. And he will look after me. And to dá mi lè tọ́jú mi now. So those parts that are beyond, that are not within my reach, I should just leave them to the one who is capable. Òun ló dá mi. And he knows my end from my beginning. And I can recollect in my journey, ní àwọn kòríta ìdààmú, he has placed help at those points that helped me on. So kí ni mò ń wá kiri, kí ni mò ń lé kiri? Gbogbo nǹkan tí yẹ kémi ṣe, mo tún wá dà lé òun lọ́rùn. Instead of me to get busy. Mi wà responsible now. Màmá pray fowó. Mo stupid gan ṣá. Ọlọ́run kọ́ ló dá owó. Owó is man-made. If you need money, you got to work. The best God can do is to maybe open, doors of opportunity for you. But when you get there, whatever is required of you to earn, you have to do it. You don't do it, you don't get paid. You don't get paid, you don't have money. Simple. You don't pray for money, you work for money. And that's when I wrote that song, The Promise. So once I had that assurance that I'm blessed already, I have all that I need, then I had to start breaking down every other thing. At this point, I must confess to you that to be able to unlearn all these things, you need to tune off your emotions, because everything we learn, everything we know, the way we were conditioned, the way we were brought up, the way we were raised, the way we were brainwashed, everything was tied to our emotions. And that's why ordinarily when you want to take certain decisions, you start feeling guilty just by thinking about it alone. You start feeling guilty. Feel guilty. So you have to turn off the switch of your emotion and know that Johnny Tinferin, Minikani, Odayiwa ni o ma da lọ ni o. At least mo ti rí inú example yẹn sìn in what I went through. I Minikani. So I got to figure this out. So I understood that principle of I am responsible for my life. And the second principle was the principle of choice and consequences. And that really, really slowed me down in taking decisions. When you understand this principle and you understand that when the consequences of your decision comes, you can't pray them away. You have to face them. And these are the aggregate of things that send you into that dark places. If you don't take wise decisions, then you will slow down and you will consider every decision that you take. You would think things through. You put them on a scale that I always use even up till now. I realized that we do everything we do in life is for two reasons: for pain and pleasure. We do things to derive pleasure, we do things to avoid pain. So before you take any step, before you take any decision, you must put them on this scale of pain and pleasure and weigh them. If the pain of that decision would outweigh the pleasure, don't do it. Don't do it. You don't take decision based on temporary pleasure. No, you don't. So I started taking conscious decisions. Also, I learned about the principles of finance. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń jágbà náà. Ọ̀nà méjì lówó ń rìn, in and out. And when what comes in is less than what goes out, you will have problem. So you have to do everything possible to increase what comes in and reduce what goes out. You have to understand every part or every place where your money goes. And you must ensure that there are places of value. I learned the principles of time and season. There is what we call a due time, and there is a time of need. We cry to God in time of need, but God only answers in due time. This teaches me patience. No matter how much you crave for orange, if it's not the season of orange, o ò lè rọ́sàn mu. Tó bá dẹ̀ fagídí lọ ká ọsàn tí ò pọ́n, àfàìmọ̀ kó o rí eyín yẹn lò mọ́ láyé. Because you'll be taking raw acid. So in time of pain, in time of need, we cry, we do everything. God will only answer in due time. You must understand the differences. And I learned the greatest principle, that the greatest commodity we have in this life is time. And that's what we're selling. We wake up every day and say we're going to work. You're not working. You're selling your time. And that is the only thing that we all have equal. The rich, the poor, that's the only thing that is equal. 24 hours. What value you get back from that 24 hours is what you survive on. If you waste it, good luck to you. And that's why you see some people sell, an hour of their time in excess of thousands. And some only get £5 an hour. And you see some people have so much to do within 24 hours that they have to buy other people's time. And that's what you call employment. You buy your time. And they don't just buy anybody's time, they buy time from people who have the skills that they require to execute what they need to do. Now, what do they pay you for? They only pay you for the hours that you clock in and do what they ask you to do. They don't pay you for the commute to work and commute back home. So to maximize what you can earn from this time, you must ensure that you have skills that can enable you to earn the maximum. You're not working, you're selling your time. And if you must give your time free, give it to people that are deserving of it. This and, several other principles I learned are what I started to put into use from 2018. I had a setback because maybe I was ahead of time. I thought, yes, I've arrived. Or I thought, yes, I have all I needed now to move on. But no, I went back again. But I didn't let that send me back into that dark place because it could have. But I quickly arrested that situation and decided to take the bulls by the horn. And one question I asked myself then was this: what are the things that really matters to me in life? Because you can never have peace as long as you are chasing other people's happiness. And that is what many of us are busy doing. Ìdùnnú onídùnnú là ń lé kiri. Lágbájá ní eléyìí, èmi náà fẹ́ ni. Tàmẹ̀dó ti ṣe eléyìí, èmi náà fẹ́ ṣe. Ibi báyìí ló ń gbé ńsìn, èmi náà fẹ́ gbébẹ̀. Ibi báyìí ló ti ń ṣe ńsìn, èmi náà fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ńbẹ̀. That they have those things doesn't mean you have to have them. You have to sit down and ask yourself, what are those things that makes you tick? What are those things that matters to you? It might not be a big house. There are people who are living in small apartments. There are people who don't even own a car, but they are happy because àwọn nǹkan tó ń dùn wọ́n nínú wọ́n ní. So looking back into all the lessons I've learned up till this point, in mapping the strategy of my life going forward, I need to ask that question. And I realized that it's just two things. I want to own my time, and I want to stay away from anything that would stress me. Even customer that will stress me, to them are more me in bashem. Go with your money and go with your stress. Then I need to own my time because I realized I'm a restless being. I have too many things going on. And I need to be able to do whatever my spirit wants to do at any time of the day. And that's why I won't feel comfortable just sitting down in one office from morning till evening. No, no, no. I was doing it before for economic survival, yes. But gbogbo nǹkan kúkú ti dàrú now nísìn. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ti ó ti fọ́jú pọ̀. So I fẹ́ build it again now. So I have to look at things from a perspective of what can give me my freedom, what can give me my that my time, to own my time, and as well use that time for various activities that can earn me a survival. And secondly, I must stay away from anything that smells or stink of stress. So these two things acted as, the filtering system of my life. Like the filtering gateway of my life. That the thing that helps me make decisions. And which helped me to shape my life. So now there's control in family, there's control over myself, there's control in terms of finances. Also, remember, I was at the point where I had zero. Then I went back into employment. I got to a point where when I get paid, it takes only 11 days for the money to finish. Just 11 days after I received my salary. Owó yẹn ti tán pátápátá. And then I moved to a point where ó ń ká ṣùgbọ́n kò ṣẹ́kù. So in all of this, what I want people to realize is it will take time for you to come out of this situation. Don't let anyone deceive you. Kò sí shortcut. Ogun tó pile up for years. Ṣé ṣọ́ọ̀rọ̀ alẹ́ ọjọ́ kan ló fẹ́ mú kúrò ni? And if you have been close to all these, religious leaders like I was, you will find out that, look, in tó ń struggle pẹ̀lú àwọn náà ń struggle pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. Nobody has it figured out, but they have to stand on that people to speak in absolute, because that is the only way you can take them serious. When they are real with you, wàá rí pé kò sí solution lọ́dọ̀ wọn. Ìwọ náà kàn tún gbé bàjẹ́ wà tó máa kọ́ solution ló ń wá, but they need you to stay. So they have to speak as if they have the answer. Nobody has it. So tó bá rò pé tó bá ti wá wọn á kàn gbọ́wọ́lé lórí, wọn á kàn pàṣẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, gbogbo ogun yẹn á kàn disappear ní irọ́. Owó tó ní ẹ̀wà kàn ní overnight irọ́. It will take time. You will build it gradually back. So I understood this, and you have to understand it. Otherwise, wàá máa ronú all the time. Á máa bàjẹ́. You have to come to terms with certain things. Acceptance. You have to accept them so that you don't suffer. Accepting them won't take the pain away, but it will remove the suffering from it. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. But when you come to terms with certain things, when you settle with certain things, when you look at your issues, you must be able to identify what you're dealing with. And that's why I focused on triggers. These things are real. So if they ask you to go and see a psychiatrist, when you get there, they are not one where you question. It's from things you tell them that they would advise you. So to what delay they want psychiatrist go sorrow. That means one can't go through. So list this thing down. Once you can identify them one by one, describe them one by one, list them. One ní àtúnṣe. Tó bá wá fẹ́ ṣe àtúnṣe tó need, then it's on you. Or when you don't want to be patient to go through the process of, correcting things, then it's on you. But there are solutions. But we find it difficult because some of the solutions will require you breaking things down and you want things to be the way they are. Then you can't find solution. Some solution will send you back 15 steps backward to take one correct one. You don't want to go 15 steps backward. You just want to progress. Oh, there's a progress. Because or not daru. And some are such that kò sí nǹkan kan tó lè ṣe sí wọn mọ́. They can't be undone. You have to realize this thing and come to terms with them. Be at peace with them. Understand that yes, ara àrìn àjò mi lélẹ̀. Bẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe máa rí lélẹ̀. They will be there. But you won't suffer from them. Because ó ti gbà pé yes. Fuck up mi ló fa ilé. No problem, it's fine. Àbẹ́ni tó ní oyún fẹ́ni tí ò fẹ́ lóyún fún tó bímọ gbogbo ẹ̀ ṣó máa pa ọmọ yẹn ni? Ó ní pa náà. You just have to come to terms with it. Ojoojúmọ́ máa gbọ́mọ ẹ ṣépè, máa gbé bàbá ẹ ṣépè, máa ṣe bákan won't solve anything. You are only suffering. And that suffering, when it is sustained, will lead you into a dark place. But when you come to terms with things, when you don't point fingers, when you look at yourself, how you contributed to the mess, how you self-sabotage yourself, and find healing, and find closure, and learn to live with it, then you will be at peace. It doesn't take the pain away, but you won't suffer. So, gradually I started coming up. That was the day I went to deliver something to a customer, and then I had a card that would be due on that day. I was coming from Sutton, yes. So when I got to Croydon, I was waiting for a tram. So when I left that person's, I said, oh, it's going to credit my account. So when he paid that money, while I was waiting for a tram, the money he paid me was the exact amount I had to settle the bill. And it would be due in, few hours. It was in the evening. So while I was waiting for the tram, quickly I went on my bank app and I made the transfer, made the payment. And after I did the payment, I got very angry with myself. I was alone at the stop, so I was speaking out to myself. Then I heard that voice that told me, you have to understand your stage of life. Ó wà ní stage kan tí ò sí rárá tó máa ń wọlẹ̀ bá wà rí nǹkan he. Ó bọ́ sí stage tó jẹ́ pé nǹkan wá ṣùgbọ́n kò tó. Nísìnyí ó wà ní stage tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ẹ̀ kákàkiri tó bá wá ó kàn ń kà cause at least ìkan ló yọjú sí tó dẹ̀ fi kábìlì yẹn kò kàn sí nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ mọ́ ni. So don't suffer. Simply realize that this is the stage where you are in now and keep pressing forward because ohun tí ò tó ṣì ń bọ̀ wá ṣẹ́kù. You will move from this stage if you don't relent, if you don't keep building that negative attitude anymore, if you keep maintaining that positive mindset, you will build that level again and you'll move to a level where àtún wá ṣẹ́kù. Tó bá wá ṣẹ́kù pàtí kan ló kàn. Tó bá ṣẹ́kù àwọn ìnáwó birthday tí ò ráìmù bíi 31 bíi 33 years birthday àwọn yẹn gan ló kàn o. You need to maintain that same low profile and remember where you are coming from. Remember where you are coming from. Remember where you are coming from. So it's important that you understand every stage of your life. Otherwise, wàá wà nínú kò tí ì tó. Wàá gbọ́n pé wọ́n lọ ń talé ìwọ náà máa ní kì í jẹ́ ẹ̀nìbẹ́mi náà wá kan báyìí. No, ò sí level yẹn. Àjẹ́bẹ̀ wọ́n bẹ wálé yẹn bọ̀ ìwọ kàn wá gbé because you are overreaching. And you must learn to be able to identify everything you have to do and split them between important and urgent. You must understand that certain things are important, but they are not urgent. And you must do things in this order. But what we try to do is we try to do too much at the same time. Because a fẹ́ tètè dìde, a fẹ́ tètè blow, a fẹ́ tètè débẹ̀, a fẹ́ tètè acquire, a fẹ́ tètè ní kíní yẹn. A máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. When people want to go to school, they have children, they have bills to pay. Gbogbo kíní yẹn ti wá pọ̀ jù, and before you know it, they don't achieve anything because they will keep failing in school because of the pressure of survival. Ọmọ náà ní gain attention. You're losing the children because òun kanra mọ́ wọn. You are not there. Ọmọ nǹkan tó wà up to and everything like that. Before you know it, relationship now dàrú because your partner too is saying that you are not there, you are this, you are that. So before you know it, gbogbo nǹkan tó kó bọ́ná lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà yẹn ò ní achieve one single one out of it. You know? So you must take life in stages. Pẹ̀lẹ́pẹ̀lẹ́ lejò ń gun àgbọ̀n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé. Bẹ́lòmíì ṣe ń gbé ayé bíi pé wọ́n ti ràn sí pé ó máa kú lọ́la ni. Ó fẹ́ ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ lénìí. Ọjọ́ tá a bá bímọ kọ́ ló rìn. Wàá rákòrò. Wàá rìn kó tó lè sáré. You don't want to do this. Ẹ lọ wo gbogbo àwọn tó ní real money. Mi sọ àwọn tó jalè, mi sọ àwọn millionaire tó lè sọ bọ́n ṣe ní first million wọn. Mi sọ gbogbo àwọn wèrè játijàti yẹn o. Àwọn tó ní real money. ẹ lọ wo ọdún tó di millionaire or billionaire. Then their 60s, in their 70s, because it takes time. Riches is measured in things. Wealth is measured in time. Hello, gbogbo àwọn old money yẹn. Go and look at them. You build wealth gradually. Àwọn yẹn ló dẹ̀ lè ṣàlàyé wọ́n ṣe bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ta button, from button tó ń ta shirt, from shirt tó ń ta tie, from tie tó ń ta títí tó ń fi dá nǹkan tí wọ́n dà yẹn. Àwọn all these other ones, they can't tell you nothing. Wàá kàn máa gbọ́ believe in yourself, trust in God, work hard. Àwọn bàbá mofo. You listen to people like that, you will kill yourself. You will kill yourself. It takes a minimum of 25 years to become an overnight success. So you must understand that you need to take it stage by stage. And that's why you need to get started now. If you have, businesses you're doing, but everything, frustration there, put it down and go and make success of yourself somewhere else. When you survive first. To survive, come back to that thing. Survive. And this is directed particularly to creatives. It's tough for creatives to blow. Half of the time, you understand them. They think we are crazy. And we have to wait for the right person to come on board and, appreciate what we do and pay for it. We're not wired as marketers. We don't force our things on people. We want people to appreciate them and, truly value them and pay for their worth. For this to happen, it takes time. But you've got bills to pay. You're a musician, you want to blow. Are you a record? You're a writer to call bo. We want car, want ra. You're getting frustrated. Yes, it's normal. Because you have to pay bills. You have to eat. You have to have a roof over your head and basic stuff like that. So you have to get something doing on the side. Something that is regular. Something that is consistent. Something that takes care of your survival. Survive first. I always use example of Rihanna. He left when people are not aware. She left music for some years now. Low kiki, but maybe go show you lati there. And then she faced her Fenty Beauty, whatever. Gbogbo fans ń pariwo, give us music. Kò tí ẹ reply kankan no. I think just 2 years ago or last year, she was officially declared a billionaire. Not from music, but from her beauty business. She traced her survival somewhere else. She's made a success of herself somewhere else. Now, tó bá padà wá sí di orin nísìn, tó bá wò lè kọ ẹni orin tó bá wù fún yín. She's not under any pressure. Ẹ rà o, ẹ ṣe kò care mọ́. Because she has survived. Now she comes back to music, she's doing it out of interest. Orí títù gan la fi kọ, not pressure. Because now she's singing because she needs to entertain people, not to make a living out of it. If you survive somewhere else, tí survivor ẹ ti dúró tó ti wà okay, tó bá fẹ́ kọ̀wé orí beach gangan ló tiẹ̀ máa wà tó máa lie down sí tí wàá máa mumi inú àgbọn, wàá rí bí inspiration ṣe máa flow. Akọ̀wé yẹn ayé àtàwọn ará onówó láti promote ẹ, ó ní everything láti lè push ẹ. But as a creative, when sharks around smell desperation in you, they will mess you up. I have been used and overused and abused. So I know how to smell users from miles off. So you have to ensure that desperation is not in you. Tí survivor bá ti jókòó sórí ẹ̀, wàá máa gbàgbàkúgbà ni. That's why you sign contracts that are detrimental to your future. That's why you sign your life away. That's why you want fi lọ̀kulọ̀ lọ̀ ẹ́ pé kó tẹ́dí ẹ lẹ̀ kán ti nǹkan bọ̀ gbogbo òṣìṣẹ́ nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀. Because they know that this is what you survive on. But tó bá ti lè gbé survivor ẹ̀ sí nǹkan míì, orí tútù ìfọkànbalẹ̀ ló máa fi push nǹkan tó fẹ́ ṣe. And you won't be frustrated. I adopted this. There's so many things I have my hands on. Bàbá tí mò ń ṣe, torí èmi náà mo ní very hard principle. I won't just succumb to any kind of thing tẹ́ bá jù sí mi. So ó máa ń ṣòro kí irú mi or irú àwa ká tó rọ́nà lọ, because we don't lick ass, we don't bend. So I have to ensure that my survival is not dependent on my creative life. Otherwise, ìhòhò ni màá máa rìn sí. So this also you have to figure out. And to round up, the battle never ends. I must mention this to you. It never ends. It's a continuous battle. Don't let anyone lie to you. And that is why it is important that you build and maintain a positive mindset. Always. Because when it becomes dark on the inside, you are only left with the guidance of that inner voice. The direction you will follow is a path that inner voice has set, and it will only take you as far as the path leads. So that is my short story on this topic of suicide. I could have gone into much detail, but it will take us days. There could be some other things that I have omitted, because I was just trying to cover as much as possible. You can ask me questions. Maybe the questions can bring them up. There could be things I didn't explain in details. You can ask questions, so I can specifically shed more light on them. The comment section has been mad busy, and I couldn't focus on what's going on there. So I will take some moments to go through here, the comment section, while I play for you the song that has served as my own reset button, because I told you the battle never ends. This is my go-to song anytime tí n bá rí wípé ó dà pé nǹkan tó fẹ́ dàrú. This song settles everything. I'll play that song for your listening pleasure while I take my time to go through the comment section. Enjoy.
I will lift up my eyes unto the hills. Níbo ni ìrànwọ́ mi wà? Ìrànlọ́wọ́ mi yóò tọwọ́ Olúwa wá. Níkàwọ́ ẹni táyé wá. He said, my son, do not fear. Bìjì ayé bá dìde, ó ní kí n má má ṣojú. Bí mo bá rí rírú òkun, bó bá lè tọ́jú ẹyẹ ojú ọ̀run, á tọ́jú mi. Bó bá lè ṣètọ́jú eérá ilẹ̀, á tọ́jú mi. Ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù, ó ní kí n má ṣe fòyà. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ọlọ́run tó dá àwọn òkè, ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù, ó ní kí n má ṣe fòyà. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ọlọ́run tó dá àwọn òkè, ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ó ti bá mi ṣèlérí ògo. Ọlọ́run mi ṣáà ti sọ̀rọ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó bá ti sọ, ó lágbára láti ṣe. Ìlérí rẹ̀ kì í yẹ̀. He said, my son, do not fear. Bìjì ayé bá dìde, ó ní kí n ṣá máa yọ̀. Òun ti ṣẹ́gun ayé, bó bá lè tọ́jú ẹyẹ ojú ọ̀run, á tọ́jú mi. Bó bá lè ṣètọ́jú eérá ilẹ̀, á tọ́jú mi. Ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù, ó ní kí n má ṣe fòyà. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ọlọ́run tó dá àwọn òkè, ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù, ó ní kí n má ṣe fòyà. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́. Ọlọ́run tó dá àwọn òkè, ó ní kí n má ṣe bẹ̀rù. Òkìtà lágbára kù tó ń mí ẹlẹ́.
Thank you very much for hanging on the show with me. Yeah, I have gone through the comment section. One key sibe. My sister DBC Brown says, I hate it when people are suicidal and they kept quiet about it. That is sad. A friend did that and it was not nice at all. You don't blame people who do this, because what they're dealing with is so heavy on them that they don't think people around them have a solution. Some even see themselves as a burden to other people, and it's better they take themselves out of the way so that people around them can enjoy their life. This is what they see. People who are suicidal think people around them are not real. They're not talking real. They're not speaking their language. They don't understand what they're going through, because some label them. They tag them weak. They tag them selfish. They tag them kí ló ń ṣe ẹ́, ó jẹ́ lọ wá nǹkan kan jẹ kó kúrò ní kìíní. They trivialize their issues, and that's why they prefer to keep quiet about it and not see anything. Especially the men. Our society frowns at men displaying their emotions. Akọgi ò kì í ṣoje o. You are a man. Issues of life has no regard for gender. When it jam you, it jam you. So men also cry, and men should be allowed to speak, because men are going through a lot. So we should encourage. What we should do is encourage people to talk, and to do that, we have to show compassion. We have to show empathy. We have to be willing to listen. You don't talk over them as if you know what they're talking about. Ẹni tó bá dójú ogun nìkan ló lè ròyìn ogun. So listen. Let them talk. Let them express themselves as much as they can. That is one great attribute that all these counselors and therapists have. They allow you to talk. They don't interrupt. They don't assume they know what you're dealing with, even though they know. But we ordinary people around, suicidal people don't know how to communicate with them. We only hear them but don't listen. And that's why they keep quiet. My sister here says, I can relate with the emotional numbness. It's exhausting when you are going through it, but you can't even explain it. You are putting some of the internal struggles to words, but on the outside, life seems happy. You're absolutely correct. When you're going through it, it's difficult to explain. Sorry, I put out the link of the studio in the comment section. If perhaps somebody has something they want to share, maybe the experience, maybe they need to contribute something, the link is there. Just click on it. It will tell you to do one or two things, and then you'll be in the studio with me. I would know when you are in, and I can bring you on live. Yes, my brother is here. Hello, my bro.
Hello, sir.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I hope you can hear me too.
You are in the studio live and direct. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Not bad. I hope I didn't bore you.
Oh no. As a matter of fact, it was well, it was one of those. I thought you were not going to take any callers tonight because of the subject. So I just like, oh, okay, there's a link there, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be one of those listen, absorb, then take home with you.
No, I know I'm not alone in this situation. I need to be It will be
I
very,
mean,
very good to hear from somebody. Bá mo tiẹ̀ parọ́ ní gbogbo ohun tí mo sọ látàárọ̀ bóyá kí ọ̀kan tiẹ̀ wá já mi, you know.
oh well, it's
So
your personal experience,
it
so we can't argue with you on it. We can't debunk we can't debunk your personal experience, except we were at what's it called, River Thames with you when you were contemplating on taking the act and you were just crying, but nobody was there. So I mean, but we
mm,
appreciate you coming up or coming out
mm,
with the story.
mm,
We
mm,
appreciate you coming out with the story. We appreciate the strength,
mm,
and I believe that some of us have been directly or indirectly involved with this type of events in our
mm,
lives. And I mean, I know that it for some people that this subject hits home for,
mm,
I know it will strike a different chord.
mm,
Shema. It will strike a different chord, Shema. So, but
mm,
I mean, we thank God for we thank God for His mercies, and we thank God for those that fought, for
mm,
those that fought.
mm,
Because after I lost a younger brother, I mean a friend turned brother. I lost a
mm,
younger one last year, summer of
mm,
last year.
mm.
So I now started reading about it.
To suicide?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
and it kind
And
of
did his
oh,
family know about his struggles?
well. I mean, the family saw it on the face. I think.
Okay.
I don't even think I don't think I'm there yet to talk about it. But I
Uh,
know that, yeah, I know that it actually did hit different when that happened.
uh,
And it was a painful sight. So
mm,
I now, well, at least one thing I know after reading, trying to, you know, when these things happen, you start asking yourself questions and you want to, hoping that you can find an answer somewhere.
mm,
Um, then one of the things I could take away from some of the materials I read was that I should not say that a person committed suicide. That I should say that the man died by suicide.
mm.
That's one thing. Yeah, and the
Yeah.
lady now explained extensively that
Mm,
that's how the person died. That because the
mm,
person died, the
mm,
cause of death is that the person died by suicide. You know. But some people will fight this battle. Some people will win the battle. Some
mm,
people
mm,
will. I mean, I won't say to those that died by suicide. I won't say that they lost the battle.
mm.
Shemo. I don't see it as a loss, really.
They fought.
But they fought.
They
Yeah,
fought.
they did. Yeah, they did. They did. They did.
You know.
They did. Shemo. But
It
I
it
don't know, man.
it look the ibi tí kìíní tough sí ni pé if you have if you have a physical ailment, they can diagnose and give you drugs for it. This one kò sóògùn sẹ́
Kò sí,
because
kò sí.
because it's there. It's a mental battle,
You're very correct.
you know.
It's
And
mental.
when you are tuned off and
Hmm.
o ti ń gbọ́ ohùn, my brother, èèyàn ti lọ,
Bed,
èèyàn ti lọ,
bed,
èèyàn ti lọ,
bed,
èèyàn
bed.
ti lọ.
Kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó easy rárá ni.
Mm-mm, mm-mm,
Kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó easy rárá ni.
you know.
I,
Gbogbo nǹkan mò ń sọ
I,
látàrí gan, I don't even know if I was making sense because that's as how much I can, you know, cast my mind back and paint the picture. And then
mhm.
things I did, because timeline why for everything. Timeline why for everything.
Bed.
And few times that I've even brought the issue up on Facebook. Facebook náà ló ń remind me. So tó bá gbé some of
Hmm.
those pictures there, máa wò báyìí pé ọmọ àwọn ọgbà èrè. Then I
I
start,
know, right?
you know, and then I want to say something about it because to me, it's a progress. And that's how I measure my
Yes.
progress. Not measuring it against somebody because I always fall short. I always feel inadequate. But when I measure it with my past, where I was then, what I couldn't do then, and what I can do now, then I can only pat myself on the back and say, you know what, oh boy, ó gbìyànjú,
True.
and keep
True.
going. Keep going.
True.
Because when you can celebrate little wins, it fuels you to keep going.
Yes.
It fuels you to face bigger battles. Look,
True.
David dúró síwájú Goliath. The only thing tó rántí ni wípé òun pa bear àti lion.
Right.
Those are the battles that he has fought and won that gave him the confidence to stand in front of Goliath, and he mentioned it as well.
Right.
Kò lọ́jú ogun rí, kò jagun rí, but àwọn nǹkan tó ti fi ọwọ́ ẹ̀ ṣe, and then ó believe nínú crude weapon tó níyẹn.
Nǹkan ẹ̀kọ́ tó ní náà nìyẹn.
You know, and when you look at it, so many people are losing battles they should be winning. Why? Because wọ́n lo nǹkan ìjà ogun tí wọ́n mọ̀ lò.
True.
Ojú ogun lọ́dẹ̀ tí ń ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ kọ́. Ojú ogun ò dẹ̀ ń ṣe bí tá a ti ń kọ́ nǹkan ìjà ogun. It's a place to be killed or to kill.
Or kill.
So tó bá wọ́n Sọ́ọ̀lù gbé àmọ́ra ẹ̀wọ́ kó lè rìn. Tó bá gbé yẹn dójú ogun bẹ́ẹ̀, ibẹ̀ ń Goliath máa pa sí. So I'm not reading Bible based on whether the event happened or not. I am reading it based on the principles and the lesson in it that I can apply to myself for to live a better life here. Because in the past, I was so heavenly conscious, like so many Christians, and earthly useless. Gbogbo heaven is my home ni. Gbogbo heaven is my home ni. But àárí ayé ìgàngbé. So until my focus changed from, reading it to see what the lessons are for me to live a better life here.
True.
Ìgbà yẹn ló tó nítumọ̀. Ìgbà yẹn ló tó nítumọ̀. So we must have battles that we've won in the past that we can, refer to draw energy from. Láti lè kojú mi. And that's why these things, when they come up, màá wò wọ́n, màá reflect, màá ronú padà, màá wo gbogbo ìgbà yẹn, màá wò sísìn, màá wò báyìí pé àti mi fi bá a lọ ńgbà yẹn. Gbàgbé ẹ̀. Ṣe mí ṣùkú.
Ìrọ̀lẹ́ ṣùpá orí ẹ̀ wọlé yìí máa survive.
And then you keep going.
I agree with you.
But the moment you are looking over your face and looking into your neighbor's face to determine, your work, ó ti ní problem.
Very.
Ó ti ní problem. Pressure máa pa ẹ́.
Oh yes.
Pressure máa pa ẹ́. Pressure máa pa ẹ́.
But another angle to it is the area of mental health. And that area, I mean, of course, I'm Nigerian. I don't think we pay enough attention to it.
At all.
I don't think we pay enough attention to it. Mental health is
let me ask, because you might know more than me. Ṣé industry yẹn ti exist in Nigeria?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. We have people that are vast in that field.
But ó ti ta máa ń gbọ́ ìgbà tán bá lọ gbéyàn lọ sáárò àbọ̀ gbéyàn lọ sí kí nǹkan la máa fi ṣe yẹ̀yẹ́.
Àti stigmatize situation yẹn.
Yes.
N tó ṣẹlẹ̀ nìyẹn.
Ìgbà la máa fi ṣe àárín péyàn kankan fúnra ara ìrìn lọ rí Sakati ládẹ̀ ti jókòó pé this kọ́ dẹ̀ refine kó má ti di pé wọ́n ti section. That's what I mean.
Tẹ́ bá wò ó sìn for the male folk, wọ́n á sọ fún ọkùnrin pé kí ló ṣe ẹ́, ṣe bí ọkùnrin ní ẹ, ṣe bí ọkùnrin ṣaragírí, ṣe bí ọkùnrin. Ẹ̀jẹ̀ dẹ̀ ló rọ̀nù lára ọkùnrin tá à ń sọ gbogbo ṣe bí
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
ọkùnrin.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni
Then
wọ́n máa ní
àwọn
ṣe bí ọkùnrin o
tó
ó dẹ̀
bá
ń pull up.
tó bá jóbìnrin wá sọ fún pé kí ló ṣe ẹ́ tí ò ṣèyàn kan rí, tó bá gbọ́ nǹkan tí bàbá kinní kan ṣe fún bàbá kinní kan, wá wo tèmi ń go through. And these are not the things that we need at that point, Jemo. And it is very, very key. I mean, understanding one's personality and how one functions in an environment. I mean, on public spaces like this, one is very careful because I'm not going to project my principle, what I believe in. I'm not going to project it to the entire world. But I will chip it in, Semo. But I'm not going to say that's the way to go. Kọ́rọ̀ wá lọ dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ kí lorúkọ ẹ̀, olórí ìjọ kan ní Nàìjíríà tó sọ pé téèyàn ò bá sàǹdá mẹ́wàá kíní kan máa ṣẹlẹ̀. Èèyàn kan wá dá wọn lóhùn ní pé ṣé àwọn èèyàn báyìí ṣọ́rọ̀ mi yìí. You cannot project from a personal to a general. I mean, and with all due respect to the individual in question, I'm not trying to cast aspersions on him or her. I'm just saying that that's just an example. So I'm very careful when I say
this
that.
question can even bend with him or her. I'm just saying. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm just being careful with respect to projecting my personal beliefs. But if somebody tells me, okay, so how did it work for you when you were going through that? What's it called? I'm like, oh yeah, these were some of the things that I did that worked for me. Like I automatically, what's it called? I admitted that I failed, and my failure was the whack I needed at the back of my head. Oh bugger! I failed. You know, I'm like, oh yeah, this is somebody that you look up to, and like, oh yeah, this person is somebody that has the tendency to, project as one that has it figured out. I failed, and I did fail. You know, and I had to go back, even though I was struggling mentally too. But ìgbà tí ẹni tí mo sọ ìgbà tí situation yẹn ṣẹlẹ̀, mo wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí doubt ara mi náà pé àbí èmi náà ní intention yìí tí mi ò mọ̀. You know, so this, maybe if there's a psychologist or a psychiatrist in the building today, if you give us how these things work.
Yeah, I would love them to call in. The link is there. I mean, let's hear from a professional. I've only shared my own, personal experience. If there's a professional angle to this, shortcut that can help you.
There's always a professional angle to it. There's always a professional angle to it. But I know for starters that mental health is a big, big deal. We don't talk about it enough. Our finances put pressure on us. Society puts pressure on us. The pressure that we sometimes family doesn't necessarily put pressure on us, but we set a bar like kini and láti achieve it, so that màá lè fọwọ́ sọ̀yà pé ọmọ ẹni tí mò ń ṣe lélẹ̀, ọmọ ẹni tí mò ń jẹ́ lélẹ̀. Sọ̀rọ̀ mi yẹn. And it's quite unfortunate how we have over time trivialized the subject, mental health, depression, then suicide, because it's one after the other. Then before another, Okoma metamorphose, then no man they were delivered to
But
my people.
guess what? What you mentioned now. One of my sister on the show said, let me find the comment. Where is it? It's costly to go through therapy. That's why some turn to pastors.
Oh, now, okay, this is the part where I will now speak. I will now speak. Nah. Now, Sherry,
You don't agree?
well, people go to pastors out of ignorance.
Okay. Not cost.
Yeah, people go to pastors out of ignorance, not cost.
Okay.
Not cost.
Okay.
To some people, it's expensive. I agree on that part that people are expensive. Sure, but on the part of other people, because Elohim need midlife crisis.
Yes. That's another point.
You understand?
Yes.
Some people
Yes.
have midlife crisis. Some people suffer from midlife crisis.
Hmm.
Midlife crisis doesn't have to be that you are going through a divorce or you have just suffered a divorce or you just lost a job. It might just be that you are overwhelmed.
Hmm.
It might just be that you're overwhelmed from the things around you, like the pressure from work. You've been going to work. The vacation. Well, your PTO, your
Hello, my
your-
sister. My brother, hold on. Hello, my sister.
Hello,
Ẹ kálẹ́ o. Mo mọ̀ pé wà ń bẹ̀ o. So just mo ti gbé yín wọlé. So just hang on.
no problem.
Let my
No,
brother
she
complete his point.
she can. Oh, okay. For me to complete my point. Oh,
Yeah. Just complete
Now-
your point and then màá gbá àwọn
Now-
wọlé, màá gbọ́ views wọn, màá dẹ̀ tún da question bò wọ́n. Yeah,
Now,
continue.
Sherry, that area of because of the cost, people go to pastors.
Mm.
Pastors themselves or men of God themselves, they usurp the roles of professionals. Because ọjọ́ kan subject yìí gangan ni kí lorúkọ ẹ̀, I think it was Genevieve that raised it on her social media handle. Then Pastor Freeze or Daddy Freeze, as he's fondly called, now debunked or gave a contrary position. Then Reno Mokiri now gave a contrary position. But I have a younger brother here that works in the mental health industry. And both of us, we both went into that subject and we were able to point out that, look, even Christ himself said it, that it is he who is healed that needs a physician. Christ did not rule out you seeing a doctor. He didn't. As a matter of fact, if you believe in God so much, then you will know that the miracle of you getting your healing from a doctor is because Christ is present. So, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of unboxing by the time we go into it. So I'll just let our sister come in and give our own view, so that.
Okay. I'll pause with my own thought because I have my own side to that question. But I'll let my sister speak first because èèyàn ńlá ni wọ́n. And I gbọ́dọ̀ keep èèyàn ńlá waiting. Hello, my sister, how you doing?
I'm fine. Good
Ṣé gbóhùn yé pa? Ṣé abẹ́ ètò studio lọ́dọ̀ yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ni?
I'm fine. I just want to say thank you very much for this wonderful topic because I am going through it, but some of the things you said tonight are really eye-opening for me. So this stagnancy thing, feeling like you don't belong and all that stuff, I've been going through it. Like this morning, I was driving to work and I just started feeling like all this I just felt numb, like I was just sad. I just turned back, and I
Mm,
called them from work. I'm not coming, and I had
mm,
to call my sister. She was like, "What's wrong?" Like, I can't even explain
mm,
what is
mm,
Mm.
going on. I just know that I
mm,
don't feel like it today. And
mm,
Right.
I was just talking to her for hours, and I felt I was just playing with my nephew on the phone, and it seems like just that little moment of happiness when I have
mm,
somebody to talk to, and then the
mm,
moment we hang up, it was just back to it. Then I had to find
mm,
something to do, so it's
mm,
just I don't know. I just want to say thank you. That's why I even actually decided to call because you've
mm,
said a lot of things that I didn't even think about. Because a lot of times I would just be crying like, "Ah, what is this now? What am I
mm,
supposed to do?" And I've tried
mm,
to talk to some people in the church, and I
mm,
became topic of discussion. I became like it was so crazy that I even stopped going to the church. The depression
mm,
more because I'm like,
mm,
I just spoke to Pastor Mrs. and then how come I'm hearing this from somebody else when I
mm,
Mm-hmm,
mm,
mm-hmm.
mm.
consequence? So I don't know. Thank you. That's what I wanted to say actually. I just wanted to say thank you.
Hmm. Ibi tẹ́ ẹ sọ̀rọ̀ dé ó yé mi.
Yeah.
To
Mm-hmm.
be honest, I totally understand because in my own situation as well, when you look around, you just feel ta ló tiẹ̀ máa understand kan, and then you speak to some people, especially you think, okay, church community náà lèèyàn ti láwọn èèyàn let's lọ sọ fún wọn before you know it,
Mm-hmm.
wàá kàn máa gbọ́rọ̀ ẹ̀ lórí àga wàásù náà ni. Màá máa gbọ́ one of my daughter in the Lord. Tí ọ̀rọ̀ ti tán nu Bible tẹ́ lè fi wàásù
Yeah.
tó fi wá jẹ́ nǹkan téèyàn sọ fún yín in confidence
I know, right?
lẹ wá ń sọ síta and stuff like that. So some of these people don't even understand their office
Yeah.
and how, or why people come to them. The point I was going to make before I bring my another sister, Adebisi Brown, in is you would realize that I have a persona ni kí n pè é, on Facebook called the Geo. I adopt a character on Facebook called the Geo,
Yeah.
and ó nídìí ó nídìí and then ìdí ni wípé I started this. You remember my sister? We started Wereleshu
Yes.
in
Yes.
2009.
Remember.
She's a member of Wereleshu in 2009, and then I realized that I have a lot to share, but mi ì lára ìjà. Because tó bá ti dọ̀rọ̀ òótọ́, people don't take it easy.
Yes.
Wọ́n máa, especially nǹkan tó bá ti máa affect wọn wípé kí wọ́n lọ, reconsider their belief system. Wọ́n máa kágídí, wọ́n máa jà gan ni o. But I intended to pass messages around. So I created that ministry and stuff. And I adopted that Geo character. Why? Because, see, there are only 4 people or 4 professionals that people trust in life and that they can go to and naked themselves before them. When I say naked, I don't mean in a literal way, but like,
Literally, yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So
That's
number 1, doctor. 2, accountant. 3, lawyer. 4, pastor. Àwọn yẹn ló mọ àṣírí gbogbo èèyàn láyé, because you can't engage their service without you exposing yourself or telling the truth. And their profession says they should cover you and work in your own favor, right? So that's why I thought she might láṣìírí lọ́wọ́. But you see, that pastor character is the one that people believe òun ló mọ gbogbo nǹkan tán. So they take the pastor to be an accountant. So instead kan lọ sọ́dọ̀ pastor, wọ́n á lọ sọ́dọ̀.
exactly. And the pastor comfortably usurps that those roles.
One immigration problem, instead kan wá immigration lawyer, wọ́n á lọ ọ̀dọ̀ pastor. wọ́n ní health challenge instead kan lọ́dọ̀ doctor wọ́n á lọ́dọ̀ pastor. So pastor yẹn wá jẹ́yàn tó jẹ́ wípé gbogbo nǹkan ni wọ́n assume pé ó mọ̀, gbogbo nǹkan ló assume wípé ó lè ṣe, gbogbo nǹkan ni wọ́n máa sọ fún, gbogbo àṣírí èèyàn ló ní lọ́wọ́. So and that's why wọ́n á rí pé that geo character that I adopted can speak on any subject because people assume that he knows everything. And that is why they go to pastors because they think solution wà ń bẹ̀. Wọ́n mọ̀ pé tó bá lọ ọ̀dọ̀ doctor àbí lawyer or whatever thing, wọ́n analyze nǹkan, wọ́n wá sọ fún wọn pé step by step lẹ́yìn láti take. But wọ́n assume wípé pastor ní tó bá kàn ti gbọ́wọ́lé ẹ lórí àbí tó sọ pé if I be a man of God àbí tó gba orí ẹ̀lẹ́mẹ̀ta tó sọ pé pẹ̀lú ìpè mi mo gbé ogun kúrò ogun yẹn náà lẹ́ẹ̀dì kúrò ní ọ̀nà wọn pé go and collect your paper níbo paper go.
But Gio, but the funny thing is, who is not a man of God and who did God not call?
Èmi ò mọ̀.
Ẹni tọ́lọ̀ ń pè àtẹ́lẹ̀ tó pera ẹ̀ wọ́n mọ̀ra wọn.
Hello, my sister Debisi Brown.
Hello,
I
good
welcome
evening.
you
Sorry, I had to just
I
laugh.
welcome you in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. The
Let me
reason why
confess,
I'm
you
coming online,
actually, before you
yes,
talk, you
okay.
actually pushed me to do this topic tonight.
Oh
It
no.
was your comment that pushed me to do this. I've just been talking about it in part and sharing things over the years. I haven't had that, I don't know, courage to sit down and say I want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But from your comment and other people's comment that I saw, I just felt, you know what? Ẹ já lọ sọ, ẹ já lọ sọ. Nǹkan tá a bá rí sọ ń bẹ̀ náà ká sọ. So thank you very much for pushing me up.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I want to make a public appeal to everybody. Like, if somebody is depressed and they try to talk to you, please, in the name of God, don't try to belittle them or dismiss them or act like no be only you they go through them now. Like things like that is what push people to do things that are like suicide and all that stuff, because people they try to talk to, they kind of like what's the right word? Like they make them feel
They trivialize it.
Yes. That's the word. They make them feel less than what they were even before they talk to them. So they just feel like, well, what's the use of this life? Let me just end it so everybody can be happy. So now at that point, they now feel like, oh, well, this world is better without me in it. So they just decide to end it. So please be nice when people try to talk to you.
That's a very valid point, to be honest. True. Mo yẹ pé àwọn èèyàn gbọ́ náà sí. Yes, my sister.
Yes, good evening. The reason why I'm coming online is because you said you would like to hear from a professional point of view.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure whether we have a psychiatrist here or not, but I've been a psychiatrist nurse for the last maybe 15 years.
Oh, you're good as a professional then.
Yes, but you know what? Professional life as a role is different from personal life. That is two different things in a way. When you see patients, I know most times the patients that we see. Of course, now I'm a psychotherapist, so I see less of issues that has gone way that has gone way pushed over, like maybe like arrow and stuff, like maybe in terms of acute. So I'm dealing with lesser issues, which I won't say lesser issues in terms of people needing maybe
help,
advice, they need therapy and all that. There are other things that, you know what, the reason why I was triggered actually to ask that question is I've seen on your post before in the past that you said you nearly committed suicide. I looked at it, but I didn't take anything of it, like, you know what, it's one of those things. Everybody feel like that. And to be honest, that was how I felt. But like the other brother who first spoke said that a friend of mine did something, well, not a close friend, but this person, I used to work with him, a doctor actually, very promising one, a psychiatrist as well. And then he went home on Friday. He didn't say anything. He bought pizza for everybody. Come on Monday, he didn't come to work. Tuesday, they called his next of kin, didn't call. And then by the time we went to his house, he was there hung in Lusham. You know,
My
seeing that
goodness.
alone was
My
actually
goodness.
depressing. And I was thinking, what could have happened? How could he
Hmm.
have thought this? A Niger,
I
you know,
know,
when you
right?
see Nigerians at work,
Hmm.
anyway, and then someone that young, what could have happened? What about his parents? And so I had so many questions. Was he giving me a clue? Was he not giving me a clue? I
Hmm.
didn't
Hmm.
realize. I didn't know.
Hmm.
You see?
Hmm.
So sometimes when we see people, even now when people talk to me, I try to pause and listen. But at the same time, when you're pausing and listening, when you're dealing with friends, they're not my patient, remember. And if
Hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
try treating them as one that, you know what you've just said, could you say it again? They will be like, me, kì í ṣe àwọn patient
Ṣé tí ń dùn ẹ́ ni?
ibi setting, deal with your problem, yeah? So sometimes everybody in life, this is a professional manner or professional understanding that we
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
all have mental health issues, one way
Hmm.
or the other. You
Hmm.
need something to trigger it in some people. And for
Hmm.
some people, they have organic issues, which
Hmm.
are people who maybe at the end of the day is triggered one way or the other and they end up
Hmm.
in psychiatrist hospital. Yeah.
Hmm.
So those are organic. Everybody have tendencies. And for other people, is the episode that brings it on, that brought it on. Like maybe if
Hmm.
someone dies and then you're depressed, if someone is
Mm.
drinking too much, and then, you know, for every action, for every reaction, or for every action, there is always a consequences, repercussion, or result.
Hmm.
So if
True.
someone is drinking a lot, maybe because a friend died and then they're depressed and stuff, they might not be able to come out of that depression as quickly as someone who is not drinking. Or I'm just using that as an example. We all
Hmm.
have
I
our
get
coping
you.
mechanism and things that makes us tick in
Right.
life,
Hmm. Hmm.
one way or the
Hmm.
other.
Hmm.
And I think sometimes when people bottles up a lot, when they're
Hmm.
thinking too much, many
Hmm.
things will be coming. It's more or less like a revolving door
Hmm.
that sometimes some people will be able to think through within an hour, they leave it, they come back to it, they find a solution.
Mm.
And some people, they're thinking all the time, but their thought process is more or less like going through the same cycle, and they
Hmm.
might not be able to see even when other opportunities are around them. And for
Hmm.
some people, they are around that revolving cycle, but they don't realize they have a problem. They're thinking, mo kàn ń ronú náà ni," and then they
Hmm.
go to their pastor. Their pastor might be able to help them or not be able to help them. Do they realize they have problem? Do
Hmm.
they realize what they're going through now? That this is what is called depression.
Hmm.
Sometimes some people will be like, oh, I nearly felt depressed, but I was able to realize it. Do they have that education? Especially for us Africans, we say, oh, men don't cry. That is why a lot of young people, a lot of especially men, black men, suicide is prevalent among us.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
sometimes in a professional manner, a lot of my clients will come. When I used to work in Akin, they would be like, oh, I want to kill myself. Most of them, we knew they were only threatening. Because if you
Hmm.
wanted to kill yourself, there are so many ways to do it.
Hmm.
But for
Right.
some others, they wanted to kill themselves and they will never open their mouth. Or
Hmm.
some will open their mouth and you will think, you know what, I just have to stay with this person for like 30 minutes or 1 hour. They might
Hmm.
feel better and start seeing things differently. You know, like someone shone the light on you when you were saying your experience.
Hmm.
One way or the other, the light wasn't going away, and then it
Hmm.
was disrupting you from concentrating or from doing what you wanted to do,
Hmm.
which I believe is a saving grace for you.
Hmm.
Some people
Hmm.
believe in God, some people don't believe in God, but at the same time, whatever you can do for yourself, God will not do for you.
Hmm.
In
Yes.
Nigeria, yes, we heard of
Did we lose her?
Hello?
Hello?
I think she might,
Oh,
maybe she got disconnected.
Well, she
oh,
probably got a phone call.
could be. Yeah. So, do you have anything to say? In reaction to what she has just said, like we all have, mental issue. We're just
No,
waiting for a trigger.
but Olúwa mi, but ẹ mọ̀ pé mo ti ẹ mọ̀ pé a ti establish yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀.
Mm, mm,
We all have mental health issues because the brain
mm,
works.
mm,
And the brain is working.
mm,
It's working. And
mm,
when something works and tí ò bá rí bí share pressure yẹn sí,
mm,
òun náà máa wà exhausted.
mm,
Ẹ rántí àwọn mọ́tò táwọn popsi wá lò àwọn kí lorúkọ ayé ìgbà yẹn tó bá ní
mm,
àpé
Pigeon.
ẹ máa Peugeot, God bless you.
mm,
My dad's one was Peugeot 504. Then there was another one,
mm,
but that Peugeot was one I knew very well. Why is this? What's wrong with your car? Ẹ má
mm.
bínú sá, overheating ló ń bàjá.
Yeah,
Overheating máa mú
ó fa epo
brain náà.
carburetor ẹ̀ tì.
Overheating máa mú brain.
Mm,
We
mm,
will look at it and say that but ó yẹ kó service mọ́tò ẹ̀ now. Service mọ́tò ẹ̀ yẹn is like saying that go and speak with a specialist and let the specialist know that in the last 2 weeks at work, I have put in 180 hours.
mm,
Ordinarily, 40 hours. So, tí wọ́n bá sọ pé o put in 180 hours, oh, don't let me over exaggerate. Tí wọ́n bá sọ pé o put in 120 hours, so o ti farabalẹ̀, o put in another extra 1 week.
mm.
That person
Like,
is
okay,
strong.
exactly. So, like, gentlemen, do you want to sit down and tell me what is going on? So that is you servicing the brain.
Mm.
But and again, traditionally, this is where I think we as Africans we differ. Our communal way of living
Mm.
plays an integral part of our lives.
Mm.
In essence, I mean, what I'm saying in essence is, tá a bá lọ sóko, tá a bá padà lọ sí ilé, kò sádùrùwé tí bàbá mi kà, kò sádùrùwé tí I think his best friend back then, or one of his best friends. They are all now being best friends in the great beyond. He was a principal in Ado Ekiti. No, in Okitupa, I think. They call themselves by their initials. HAFO, HAF. They will still sit down outside and they will discuss. To the point where I almost caught them discussing some very personal issues. And I've already graduated. Like, no. You were excused, no? So, ẹ mọ̀ pé time yẹn náà wọn ò ní kò sí pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ bá therapist. Sọ̀rọ̀ mi yé yín. Kò sí pé wọ́n fẹ́ lọ bá therapist. So communal kí lorúkọ ẹ̀ yẹn tó ní.
Ara wọn lọ ti máa sọ.
So wọ́n dẹ̀ máa ń gbára wọn nímọ̀ràn. It's a close-knitted circle. So jẹ́ pé ó máa pẹ́ kéèyàn kan tó break in. And I think that also, even we as Nigerians in diaspora, or even Nigerians back home too, both whether diaspora or back home, I think we should imbibe it, because 9 out of 10 times, traffic làwọn èèyàn máa purọ́ mọ́ táwọn bá ń sọ pé àmì ìfẹ́ kí traffic mú mi mo ṣe fẹ́ jà sí ní tọ́tí tàbí àrùn. Yeah.
I think these days we lack trust.
Oh, you can't blame us.
Àmẹ́ni tó yẹ ká sọ̀rọ̀ fún àdẹ̀mọ́bí tá a ti máa gbọ́rọ̀ wa lẹ́yìn tá a bá sọ fún tán.
Yeah.
So we're being careful. that ṣe wípé because look at gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tá à ń rí nasty stuff tá à ń rí ń ta lénìí. I mean tó bá ti jà àṣírí ara wọn wọ́n wá máa fi they will leave the issue fàjà. They want to hurt themselves now. So in tó ń sọ fúnra wọn tó ń ṣí àbí àṣírí wọ́n wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa gbé jáde. It tells you the kind of individuals they are. Because if you are well trained, if you are well brought up, kò sí n tó lè fa wàhálà láàrin ìwọ àtèèyàn kan tó jẹ́ pé wàá sọ nǹkan àṣírí ẹ̀ síta. No, ẹ máa focus lórí ìjà tẹ́ ẹ ní, ẹ máa focus lórí differences yẹn ni, and you end it on that.
No, but ṣe mọ̀ pé, sorry to cut you, Joe. Ṣe mọ̀ pé it's a case of how vicious you are and how malicious you want to be. These are two different what's it called, traits that some people want to manifest. Because Emma, at this stage, I see you put up a picture of you of some of your outfits, and you are well dressed as a gentleman, and my sister there too, she's dressed as a lady, and I'm also there dressed as a gentleman. Kò sí bí argument yẹn ṣe lè le tó, ayi mama respect ara wa láàrin àwùjọ wípé kò yẹ ká ìbára wa jà. Sure mi yẹn. But n ta fẹ́ ṣe ni wípé a fẹ́ score point yẹn ó dẹ̀ láti wà so strong débi wípé wàá mọ̀ pé mo sọ kìíní ó dẹ̀ bà ẹ́ níbi tí ó yẹ kó ti bà ẹ́, tó bá dẹ̀ wá bà ẹ́ tán bó bá ṣe recover ó kù sí ẹ lọ́wọ́.
That's good, yeah. But what do you recover rárá?
But what do you start to gain after that, though?
Oh no, that's the viciousness. That's the nature. That's the human nature.
How does that add value to your life?
But that's the trait that we're talking about. People that are malicious in nature, people that are vindictive in nature. Like Gio pointed out, we've seen situations whereby things that happen between the four corners of a room, then you find, of the two people that are present there, you find one individual, bring that out to the general public. That's the truth. That's the truth. Because at the end of the day, like I tell my own family and friends, my people in my close corner, Kenny one penny in man of God, Koto D of God, man in you. Koto D of God is a man first. And I'm being very careful with quoting Bible scriptures, because of course Gio knows that I will always go into my Bible scriptures. But I mean, Koto D of God is a man first. There were only few people that Christ advocated for in his lifetime. One of them is the woman that was claimed to have committed adultery. Christo bá wọn dùn nígbà tó advocate fún ọmọbìnrin yẹn. Kò sọ pé ẹlọmọkùnrin yẹn wá kẹsọ fún mi bóyá òṣòótọ́ bí kò ṣòótọ́. But what Christ said was, if there's anyone amongst you that is free of sin, let him cast the first stone. Èyí tó gbé ògúlùtù dání gan pé màá fọ́ ọmọ orí ọmọbìnrin ó jùlẹ̀. So my sister, that is I'm hoping that I'm able to shed light on the question of what does that person stand to gain. But because of that, the satisfaction we pay ògúlùtù mo fẹ́ tu lórí ọmọbìnrin. But ìgbà tí ẹni yẹn wá bá idea tó ju tiẹ̀ lọ, because if you say yourself that you are without sin and you cast that stone, I can guarantee you wípé at this moment kó o tó ju òkúta yẹn tán orí tiẹ̀ olúmọ̀rọ̀ ló máa fọ́mọ. Christ will guarantee it. But ó mọ̀ torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe arínúróde olùmọ̀rọ̀ ọkàn. He knows. He knows. So that maliciousness, that viciousness, that vindictiveness, it's human nature. And this is another subject on its own that one has to, it's a total, what's it called? But just because àwọn ẹlòmíì máa kọ̀ wípé mo fẹ́ score points yìí. Take for instance, we meet on Geo's platform. I don't come here to argue with anybody. I want to learn. I want to share my own whatever I know. Because at the beginning I told you I don't know so much about this thing. What I don't know I cannot tell you. I said, look, maybe if we get professional, let them come in. But Gio sọ pé èèyàn kan sọ pé ìtorí cost ni àwọn kan ṣe lọ bá man of God. Mo ní eléyìí o, èmi á sọ̀rọ̀ pa eléyìí. Because our men of God back home, they are next to nothing. A máa fi wípé àwọn gangan ni Ọlọ́run deputize agbára fún. When Christ met the woman by the well, the Samaritan woman by the well, and the woman said, but you are Jew. But you people say we don't know how to worship God. And you people said that we have to come to Jerusalem to worship God. Christy Dapada. Nto sọ fún ẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ nìyẹn. But tèmi fẹ́ sọ fún ẹ lélẹ́yìí. You will worship God in spirit and in truth. Oh, ní lọ sórí òkè kankan. Anybody tó bá lórí òkè, ó kàn lọ ọbẹ̀ fún tourism ni. Ó kàn lọ gbatẹ́gùn ni. It is in spirit and in truth that you can worship God. So that settled it at that moment. It settled that argument. Except anybody can give me anything contrary to that. Then. But when we speak the truth regarding to mental health, and our men of God saying to themselves, we say, okay, you know what? There's a department in this church. Yes. The department is for psychologists and so psychotherapists and psychiatrists. They will come in twice every month or thrice every month. I would advise you people to use them. Ìwọ man of God gan, tí o bá ti tó bá ní kó dáwọ́lé àwọn lórí, wàá béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn pé kí ló fẹ́, kí ni purpose ọwọ́ tó fẹ́ kí n dálé ẹ lórí. What do you want? What would you have me do? Don't just go there and pray and pray and pray and pray and pray. James said it. He said, "Who among who you accost your brother on the way, and you tell and you see him hungry, naked, and you say to him, it is well with your soul." Ebi ló ń pa now.
Tó bá ti oúnjẹ ló fẹ́ kì í ṣe prayer.
Oúnjẹ náà.
Another thing that I feel is they think tó bá ti gbé nǹkan kan wá táwọn rí fa wọn sí ibòmíì, then it reduces their worth and it diverts the attention of people to that other place. Now, look at what goes on these days with people who do IVF. When they come to do testimony, they don't mention that's what they did. Ìgbà tí kinní ẹ wá lé, wá pe pastor, wá ti pastor wá jọ ń gbàdúrà, a ṣáà ń gbàdúrà, wọ́n ṣáà ń fún mi lómi, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń sọ pé kinní kan, àdéhùn pastor náà máa rock lórí tí àbí tó wà máa mi orí báyìí because ó ṣe ń sọ yẹn, ó ń ba wá mágà sí ni, ó ba marketing strategy burúkú náà ni òun náà nílé sọ fún wọn pé kán sọ tòótọ́ ń bẹ̀. I mean, mentioning that he did IVF does not diminish God in any way because
It does.
òun náà lórísun ìmọ̀. Now, and that also will liberate so many other people tó wà nínú ìjọ ńbẹ̀ yẹn tó ń wojú Ọlọ́run fọ́mọ tó dẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà lójoojúmọ́ tó ń mu omi bọ́n ṣe ń mu òróró ni wọ́n ń mu omi bọ́n ṣe ń mu òróró ló ń mu omi ikùn kan ń kú ni bọ́n ṣe ń mu bóyá ọ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe fi ń parọ́ ti ra ẹ̀mí ti fẹ́ bọ́ ilé ti kún bọ́n ṣe ń wọn sára ògiri lọ́hùn tẹ́nu ọ̀nà wà ìtàn wọn sílẹ̀ ilẹ̀ wa ìtàn tó fi ń pa ìdodo wa ìdodo lásán ló ń fìyẹn pa ìtí wọ́n máa lò tán kó tó ṣe tibítibí gan kó tó ṣe wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ gbogbo ẹ̀ náà wà ń bẹ̀ oríṣiríṣi but at the end of the day.
kí ló ń jẹ́ wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀.
ẹ máa wòran àwọn tó máa ṣàlàyé ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bí alàgbà Táíwò Ọbátúnsìn wọ́n ní kí ló ń jẹ́ wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀ mo mọ̀ pé area of speciality ti yín nìyẹn ẹ bá mi ṣàlàyé fún ọ. You know, so at the end of the day wọ́n kàn máa ka ọjọ́ nínú ibẹ̀ yẹn ni when just stepping up there to say what you did can liberate many of them. It does not diminish us, it does not diminish your pastor. It only tells you that look, this is also a possibility.
Yeah.
You understand? And that's it.
IVF is not even like automatic, like once you do it, it works. So it still
Yes.
takes a lot to make it work.
We still hear of people that say that come out and say that, oh, this is my third attempt, this is my fourth attempt.
You know?
And what even amazes me or amuses me, so let me say amazed, it's amused, is when you start acting like the child was by immaculate conception. It was by immaculate conception. You did something about it.
Exactly. You know?
You did something about it. It's not like when you went to the train station and you go like, oh, there's a baby here. All right, this is mine. I take it and I go home. No, you did something about it. Chemo.
Process yẹn dẹ̀ pọ̀.
Of course. And it's expensive too.
Yes.
It's expensive too.
So that's why I say a lot of things that goes on there is testifying. So when you see all these things, it doesn't even give you that confidence to open up. To open up.
No, it doesn't. No,
you know?
It doesn't.
Because and then the more you bottle up, the more you are dying. The more you are dying because when you speak out, when you express yourself, ọ̀rọ̀ kan tó bá gbọ́ lẹ́ni ó ní direction tó máa lead ẹ gbà. Direction tó bá ń tọ́ lọ, ojútùú díẹ̀ wà ń bẹ̀. Béèyàn dẹ̀ ṣe máa tọ́ lọ díẹ̀ tó máa fi rí ọ̀nà àbáyọ nìyẹn. So I think not speaking up at all because, you know, we have so many loose mouths around us isn't the way forward. You just need to find the right people to speak to. There are right people. Right people exist. You just need to find them, you know, and, you know, talk to them. But Kamaso Rarayan, which also affected me because mo ń dá gbogbo ẹ̀ gbé mi ni.
Ẹnu bó ṣe mọ̀ pé àwọn ẹlòmíì náà tó bá sọ̀rọ̀ they will be considered as weak.
Òun náà là ń sọ. Wàá bá ẹlòmíì sọ̀rọ̀. My sister said it. N tó máa kọ́kọ́ gbọ́ ni pé ọ̀gbẹ́ni go find someone sit down now you think say na only you. Àwọn we dey in this thing together. Be that wọ́n ti shut it up. Right. And that's what we see around that makes us not want to talk because we think people around us are not real. Ẹlòmíì tó bá dẹ̀ máa bá sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí first tó máa dá ìlẹ́nu wọn ni pé it is well o. Ṣé is that wàá kàn báyìí pé wàá kàn dà kó gba orí mọ́ gírí pé àṣé nǹkan tí kí ló wẹ̀ nínú gbogbo nǹkan tó wà lẹ́ẹ̀. You know, and then other people tó tẹ̀ pé tẹ̀ tún lára balẹ̀ ó fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ fún iṣẹ́ fi òun nípa àwọn gan ò dà pé àwọn gan get nǹkan together àwọn kan fagídí port gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni so you just feel like you know what there's no point let me just be on my own but you are in that noisy bí bá ṣe sọ ń pa quiet níta yẹn inú noisy gan. Inú noisy gan ariwo pọ̀ gan gbogbo ẹ̀ ó dàbí ọjà tí ò sí space everybody kàn ń lọ gbùrùgbùrù tó ń tira wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí and you are trying to find order in that chaotic space and then kò dúró bó ṣe ń ro yẹn wàhálà àtọjọ́ yẹn náà ó tún ti join yẹn kì í ṣe pé báyọ̀jọ́ kan wá problem free o wàhálà àtọjọ́ yẹn náà òun náà tún ti join traffic yẹn tọ̀lá náà tún join yẹn
Lagos traffic.
and díẹ̀díẹ̀ wọ́n tiẹ̀ tó fi máa di wípé wàá kàn jókòó sínú bọ́ọ̀sì wàá kàn máa dá wàá kàn máa dá ṣe nǹkan orí ti lọ nìyẹn and today that's why a rí àwọn wèrè aláṣọ pọ̀ gan.
All you have to do is just poke them.
Jesus Christ.
All you have to do is just poke them. Yeah, all you have to do is just poke.
Even some women go, this might sound funny. Ara will bring back on killers.
Okay.
Now, ara ti gbẹ̀kan gidi gan.
Maybe it's even that time of the month. Everything just combined together.
I'm telling you, ara ti gbogbo nǹkan ti ó ti dúró gbogbo everything dúró rororororo báyìí ni. Gbogbo kíkí yẹn máa bọ́ sí kanra ni. Ṣùgbọ́n ìṣẹ̀ kan calm down kan wẹ́n tó máa tù wọ́n lára because that ibi tí solution wà nìyẹn ìkanra yẹn ò bá nǹkan kan dé.
Well, but you can't blame them because they don't know any other way.
Ìtàn need oníkan own up kán dẹ̀ wá àtura. Ó tán ìrọ̀rùn ajé ṣùgbọ́n they sustain this before you know it. Madam ti ń gbà sórí wọ́n ti ń di nǹkan mi o. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń lọ nìyẹn. So ọmọ sọ wípé all these things if we can calm down, we can identify them. If we want to be honest with ourselves, you can actually list them. Start from that first. In tó bá ṣe identify, tó ṣe define, ó látúnṣe. Àtúnṣe ẹ̀ ó lè má jẹ́ immediate, ó lè jẹ́ ọdún kan, ó lè jẹ́ ọdún mẹ́ta. But wàá mọ̀ wípé
that you're working on it.
Wàá mọ̀ pé one process ó mọ̀. Look, mo máa ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn, everything tó bá fẹ́ ṣe, you must be able to justify it. If you are waiting, you must be able to say, I am waiting. You must be able to justify it for yourself and people around you who will put pressure on you. Because my day people will want to assume pé mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe and they want to get involved in your life. But when tó wá dúró dáadáa, tí nǹkan tó ń ṣe yí ẹ wàá mọ̀ dín pé okay dídúró tí mo dúró ń bí o I'm waiting for the right wind to carry me. That is what I need. I'm waiting and I will wait until when necessary. Mi kàn fẹ́ máa ràn mú kiri, mi fẹ́ máa lọ kiri láì mọ ibi tí mò ń lọ. I'm waiting for the right person that will point me in the direction I will go. If that is sorted in your mind, you will not suffer for as long as you have to wait. But tí ìjókòó kẹ́ sọ wípé eléyìí sùúrù lélẹ́yìí gbà. Tí ìjókòó kẹ́ ṣe yẹn. Tí ìjókòó láì sọ pé òkè eléyìí máa change bí ni. Tí n bá change bí màá máa lọ sí bí. Ẹlòmíì ojoojúmọ́ lásán bá ti jí báyìí, á kọ́kọ́ pòṣé ni. Kó tiẹ̀ tó lajú sáyé. Á kọ́kọ́ pòṣé. Bọ́jọ́ yẹn á dẹ̀ ṣe rí nìyẹn. Because ó kàn wá irritated pé I have to go do this again. Kí ló dé ń fà tẹ́lẹ̀ mi bá wò ó báyà bí tó ń gbé jìnnà síbi tó ti ń ṣiṣẹ́. Bóyá àwọn tó ń bá ṣiṣẹ́ ẹhànnà ni wọ́n. Now, it's either you change that job or you find somewhere close to the job to move to. Ìkànnù méjèèjì ni, ìyẹn ló tó máa stop òṣè pípa ẹ̀. Otherwise, tó bá rí pé mi lè change iṣẹ́ yẹn sìn wàhálà máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ó máa tún fa wàhálà mi. You can settle in your mind that I'm working towards changing it. Time báyìí ló máa gbà mí while I'm making new applications and things like that. Ọkàn ẹ máa ní ìsinmi wípé I am working towards this. But kó má kàn ṣe nǹkan kan kó jẹ́ pé ojoojúmọ́ ó ṣáà ń pòṣé ni. Ojoojúmọ́ ó ṣáà ń wẹ́n tó máa ṣépè fún ni pé nìyẹn ló fa kínní. Òun drive wo kàn di wèrè sí títì wá kàn máa hànú pé fún ẹ lọ́nà kó. ó kàn ń kanra máyé kiri. I was like that. Mo ń kanra máyé kiri bí ìpa ayé ṣẹ̀ mí ni. But mo rí ń pa ayé ò ṣẹ̀ mí. Àwọn tí mò ń deal with ló yẹ kí n look eyeballs to eyeballs and find ways to sort them. The solution might not be immediate. I keep saying it. In fact, kò sí tó wà immediate because gbogbo ẹ̀ accumulate over time ni. And then to resolve them will also take time. Mentally, you must prepare for this. You must actively work towards each of these things. First of all, list them. Bó ṣe wù kọ́kàn dàrú tó yẹn, at least èèyàn á lè sọ wípé elé tó bá ti list wọn. Then you can even speak to people. O lè má sọ gbogbo ẹ̀ fún èèyàn kan tán láti ilẹ̀ kan ní madam ẹnìkan lẹ́yìn nìkan lẹ ń gbèrú adúrú ogun báyìí kí ló dé ó ti pọ̀ jù kẹ́. Ó lè jẹ́ pé èèyàn kan expert kan ló lè sọ ilé fún brother ẹ jẹ́ kí n pick mind yín lórí issue báyìí. And then you share just that line of, because you have to tackle this thing one by one. Má tún ṣe mistake pé gbogbo ẹ̀ ló fẹ́ yanjú lẹ́ẹ̀kan náà. And that's why you must lead them in the priority of urgent and important. That something is important doesn't mean it's urgent. So wàá wo àwọn nǹkan tó jẹ́ pé tí n bá rí lè yanjú ó máa affect ilé affect ilé. Bó ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn. Or tackle them from àwọn nǹkan tó easy jù. Because when you can tick some things off your list, it energizes you to be able to tackle other things. But tó bá pa àwọn tó lè jẹ́ lè kọ́kọ́ tackle tó bounce ẹ padà tó ta ẹ padà pé ìwọ wo tó fail lórí ẹ̀, you go back into your shell. But tó bá kọ́kọ́ mú àwọn kéékèèké tápá ẹ̀ka tó ń rún àwọn yẹn jẹ tó lè tick ẹ̀ kúrò lórí list ẹ̀, it gives you confidence to pick something else. And you keep going like that. It will. Mo kọ́kọ́ fi ọdún mẹ́rin fi lọ máa kọ́ gbogbo nǹkan on learn and learn. Ọdún mẹ́rin. 2014 to 2018. 2018 mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pé okay jẹ́ ká máa mú báyìí. So mi ti pẹ́ nínú journey gan. Àbí kí la wà ẹ́ 2022. Mi ti pẹ́ nú ẹ̀. But I can see a change. I can see a change. And then tó bá ti rí pé kíní ẹ̀ tún fẹ́ wá again, you now know how to handle it better. You know. Because nísìnyí kò sí pé èèyàn fi gìrìgìrì make decision mọ́. Kò sí pé èèyàn ń wo ẹlòmíì fi make decision mọ́. You have to be intentional about your life. Because you know what should come in, what shouldn't come in. You know what you should involve yourself in. You know what when you do this that will lead you to that. Wàá fi ara balẹ̀. Wàá ro gbogbo nǹkan dáadáa. You slow. You take your life by your own time. And èèyàn kankan ò lè fi mí sórí unnecessary pressure. Èní mò ń gbọ́ tán sọ ń pa àwọn boys kan pé tí ò bá sí private plane nísìnyí pé wọn ò lè fò. Just to Lagos to Abuja, they can't fly tí ò bá sí private jet. They prefer to buy a ticket, British Airways, go to London, and from London fly to Abuja.
That makes no sense.
So ṣé màá gbọ́rù yẹn màá sọ pé mo fẹ́ lé wọn for what? Èmi ò mọ tán jẹ tẹ́lẹ̀ kun. Lé wọn for what? Ẹ lè fi mí sí pressure wèrè kan. Màá ra máyé mi díẹ̀ ni because tí n bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mo mọ ibi tó tún lè lead mi sí. So kíní yìí kò gba ojúbọ̀rọ̀, but ó require honesty, ó require patience, ó require dedication. All require having that willingness to
True.
say you want to get this done. Self-pity is good, but it only keeps you there and make you feel good for a while. What you want is to leave that space. And to leave that space, you have to look at these things in the eye one by one and sort them out. Ìtẹ́ èèyàn bá ti wò lójú téèyàn rí pé ọmọ àbákú ni aṣọ ewúrẹ́ o, bẹ́lẹ̀ ṣe máa wà rí o, eléyìí ò ṣe tamper pẹ̀lú o. Then you come to peace with it. You come to terms with it. Wípé yes, eléyìí á wà reference point pé ìrìn àjò mi nìyí. Kò sí nǹkan mi, I can't undo this. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, àwọn nǹkan tèmi ṣe leléyìí o. Mi dẹ̀ mọ ọ̀nà mi. But like I said, there are principles. And principles don't fail. Application máa yàtọ̀. Because nǹkan tèmi bá yí kọ́ lẹniyẹn bá yí. Then bó ṣe ṣe mí kọ́ ló ṣe ṣe wọ́n. Timeline tá a wà ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ni. You know, so
Definitely.
béèyàn ṣe máa wá apply ẹ̀ ló yàtọ̀. Strategies of war are the same, but the way you will deploy your the strategies and how you will use your equipment and things like that will depend on the battle you are facing. You know, so that's what I have more for, especially my sister.
Thank you. I have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so you said sit down and make a list. So what happens if you don't even have the strength?
Come again.
You said sit down and make a list, right? Make a list of the things you need to learn and unlearn and change and all that stuff. So what happens?
Before ká tó dé learn and unlearn, my sister,
Yes.
make list of the things you are dealing with.
Okay.
Get me? You can identify those things.
Yes.
Yes, you can. Tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ mo máa ń rò pé mi ò mọ̀ ni. Ṣùgbọ́n ìgbà tí nọ́mbà bà mí, mo ní wá ọ̀gbẹ́ni, jókòó. Ogun kọ́ leléyìí, wo àwọn ogun ìdílé gbogbo kíní ẹ̀ ọmọ ẹ̀ pa gbogbo kíní ẹ̀ tì. Àwọn tó ń bá yí, ó ní issue. And àwọn issue, you can identify them, list them out. And one by one, tackle them. Ìgbà tẹ́ ẹ bá mọ̀ wọ́n, lẹ máa ṣe learn principle tó attach mọ́ kọ̀ọ̀kan. Ṣé ń get me?
Yes, sir.
Lẹ máa rí principle tó operate tó guide kọ̀ọ̀kan. If you have been, you know, working on, you know, a false principle before, tó yẹ pé false ìmọ̀ ló ń kó bá wa. Now I change. Because you have to unlearn that and learn the new one now. Once you get the principle right and you follow principle, look, is no respecter of person, creed, age, color, race, whatever.
No, it
You
isn't.
understand them and you follow them. Ayé á rọrùn fún ẹ gbé. You ignore them or you don't know them or you violate them. Ayé á le. It's as simple as that. And gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo dẹ̀ ṣe sọ, part kan wà tó jẹ́ wípé control rárá. Don't bother yourself about it. Because those ones are set. What will go wrong will go wrong. What will go right will go right. After you have done everything you are supposed to do. But they all will work together again for your good. But you don't neglect those ones you can't do, you have ability over, and start focusing yourself on those things that you can't do. It's a waste of time, waste of effort, waste of energy. And you don't abandon those ones you can do for the divine, because the divine won't get involved. He has given you the ability and the power and the resources to do them. We don't even know that gbogbo help that need, they exist. They are dormant until we take steps ìgbésẹ̀ wa ló máa activate àwọn ìrànlọ́wọ́ ta ní. They've been provided ahead of time. But torí pa àwo wájú kò dàbí ìparí wọn, àwọn káwọ́ gbéra à ń retí kan dìde, wọn ò ní dìde. Ẹlẹ́rù ló máa ń kọ́kọ́ gbẹ́rù ẹ̀ dáàrin kó tó bá fọwọ́ kun kó bá gbé sórí. So we will take steps even though we don't have everything set in place. And then you will see that the help would get up. They are oftentimes activated by our own willingness to get those things done. This I've experienced several times. Several times. Don't be in a rush. Just be prepared. I learned a lot from the life of an eagle. The eagle, as big as their wing is, they don't use it to flap, to fly or anything. They wait for the right wing. When the right wing comes, they jump under it. Atẹ́gùn yẹn láṣẹ yòókù, they just glide. Wọ́n kàn máa ń nà yẹn ni. Ibi tí eagle dẹ̀ ti ń fò, wọn bí ìpọ́nrípọ́n gbá ẹyẹ kankan dá. Kó di altitude yẹn, àfi tá a bá parẹ́. So many of us are in a rush. I have to get this, I have to get that. Àti ẹ̀ ní sùúrù àṣe kankan, àwa strategic, àwọlẹ̀, àṣe anything. We just want to get it done. And we're busy running with no direction. Níbo là ń lọ gan tá a kàn sáré? We don't know. Tó bá exhaust gbogbo energy yẹn tán kọ́ wàá kàn máa míwàá ó báyìí pé kí n gbọ́ la tún wá wà báyìí.
Níbo la tún já sí?
Níbo la tún já sí báyìí? Gọ́gọ́tà la ti ń bọ̀, níbo là ń lọ báyìí?
Gọ́gọ́tà la ti ń bọ̀.
You know? So my sister, list them out. When you list them out, you don't have a solution, you've done something. Look around you. Pick people's brain on specific issues. Start ticking lists. You will see improvement. You will see relief.
I'm ready for that relief.
You will see relief. Kì í ṣe overnight o.
She said I'm ready for that relief.
You will see relief. I'm telling you, you will see relief.
Okay.
You will see relief. You must just be willing. But yes, I'm rìnrìn yìí. And your emotion, the switch to your emotion must be in your hand. I know. Intimo so yé mi jù.
Okay.
Yeah, come again.
I need you to clarify something for me, though. Okay, so at least for now, I think I have like, okay, maybe I need to do one or two things to change things a little bit. But the problem I have right now is
it's not a problem, it's a challenge.
Well, a challenge I have right now is by the time I go to work and stand for 8 hours and get back, I don't have the strength to even cook the food I want to eat, let alone take any step that will move anything anywhere. And then by the end of the day, now I'm telling myself, now you didn't even do anything today. You failed today again, something like that. So where do I get that strength from? Like the mental strength to even take that step.
Okay. So I see that the first or the major issue you are combating is that most of your strength and the best part of your day goes into your work, right?
Yes.
And it leaves you with no time to do anything else. Can I ask how many days in a week you work?
5 days, 5 to 6 days sometimes.
5 to 6 days.
Yeah.
So is it a shift or regular days?
It's a shift. It's not like I work 8 hours a day. But it's just that by the time I get off that work, I'm mentally exhausted. To even for me, sometimes to even take a shower seems like you're asking me to go and push the Oluma rock. That's
Okay. I do not want to sound insensitive, but Sherry nínú kí ló máa ń pè Eh, nínú títa ríro
Latin color.
là ń kọlà.
tó bá wá ṣe kí lórúkọ ẹ̀ tán á wá doge.
Tó bá wá jiná tán, á wá dẹwà síyàn lọ́rùn lára. You won't have a perfect time to do this.
Okay.
You won't. So, tẹ́ bá délé, bẹ́ẹ̀ lie down, tẹ́ fẹ́ sùn, you have moment to yourself. Àti kì í ṣàní bẹ́ẹ̀ bá délé wa kàn já lẹ́yìn ẹ̀dẹ̀ sùn bẹ́ẹ̀.
No.
No, you have moment for yourself. When driving to work in the morning, you have moment for yourself. You utilize moment that you have for yourself, whether in the morning or after you've relaxed in bed, and then your days off. And gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ yìí náà is for you to clarify your thought, because ó ti wà muddled up. So all you are doing is bíi pé ojú òwú tó lọ́, you are now trying to find the loose ends so that you can trace them and start pulling them apart. So all you need to do first is to clarify your thought in terms of ele. Gbogbo nǹkan tó dàrú bẹ́ẹ̀ náà kọ́ ni gbogbo nǹkan tí ẹ ní láti deal with. Some are just meant to be discarded because they are irrelevancies. Ẹ gbé ọ̀rọ̀ family sórí, ẹ gbé kinní kan ẹ̀ ń dá sílé ẹ̀ ń dá gbogbo kinní ẹ̀ they're junks. We're talking about you now. Focus on you, spotlight on yourself. So, and you highlight all these points, issues, and everything like that. You just think you don't have time to do it. You do have time. And you have moments of your days when you are with yourself. Èmi máa ń ṣe staff meeting gan. Tí n bá ń dá sọ̀rọ̀ kí ilé bá wọn gbé daddy you're talking to yourself máa ní ìwọ ọmọ kankan staff meeting mò ń ṣe. Do you have something to add, my brother?
Well, I mean, okay, I would like to ask, what time do you go to work?
6:30 a.m.
Whoa,
in the morning.
That's early.
Yeah.
Okay, and your first meal of the day?
Depends. I mean, sometimes I eat when I get a break at work.
What time is that?
Sometimes at 9, sometimes at 10. Depends.
Okay, I think what we can. I think I think one of the first few steps we could take is for you to what's it called? Those because you say your first meal is like 9 in the morning.
Yes.
And you get to work by 6:30.
Yes.
You're not bored, yeah. But now this is what we are going to do, because we are in it together now. You are going to imbibe taking some type of protein. Whatever you are going to eat has to be heavy on protein.
Okay.
In the morning.
I'm taking notes.
Eh?
I said I'm taking notes.
I don't think oat is heavy on protein.
No, I said I'm taking notes.
He's taking notes.
Taking notes. Oh,
one
okay.
call it, yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's it. So I mean, take food that is heavy on protein. It might be a snack, but just make sure you have protein the early hours of the morning.
Okay.
So if you put in 8 hours every day, really, I mean, let's see what that does. But there's something that I would like to just chip in, and this is what I found out: that life is suffering. It is. The only difference is how we have chosen to embrace our own suffering. Yes. You know that, what's it called? That line that goes around that they throw on our faces. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. I don't know whether you are in the United Kingdom or in the United States. But if you going to ease yourself in the front of the Buckingham Palace will make you happy, will you do it?
Or
in front of the White House, will you do it? You wouldn't do it. Exactly.
Go to jail.
Exactly. So those lines, then now we have to be very careful how we receive information. You know what I'm saying? The only social media that I have is Facebook and WhatsApp. Maybe because I don't want the other drama that comes from the other places. There's enough drama in my life.
Sure.
Why would I add that one to it?
I didn't even ask this question. Do you like what you do?
The job I do right now?
Yes.
No, it's just to pay the bills.
So
yes, just give yourself time to get out of there.
That's it. So Sherry, everything still comes down to everything I said. You will need to identify, even starting from the job. Because until you identify, wọ́n lọ́jọ́ tí wèrè bá mọ̀ pé wèrè lòun, ọjọ́ yẹn ló gbádùn.
Àlàáfíà ti ń dé nìyẹn.
Yes. So until you are able to identify these issues, kò di dandan wípé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe sọ pé I don't like job yẹn kẹ wá máa lọ bẹ̀ lọ́la.
Tẹ bá ti refuse láti lọ, ẹ máa ṣe àdírẹ́sì jí o.
Rambo.
Ẹ máa bára ticket fún mi kí n máa bọ̀ UK lọ́la.
You know, but identifying it tells you that something needs to be done.
Yeah.
And ó dẹ̀ ti activate ìrànlọ́wọ́ yẹn. I tell you sincerely. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe wá rìnrìn yẹn, that will lead you to have a conversation with somebody that will just mention something to you. The connection will be made. But the moment you don't, you just treat it as yes, we understand we have to do baby. There's one pay care fee. The day I quit my own job, mo hearing but mo sọ fúnra mi pé yes, mo mọ̀ pé orí ẹ̀ ò pé tẹ́lẹ̀, but now mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ confirm wípé o sick ni. Mo sọ bóyá sọ fúnra mi nìyẹn as I was going home pé o ní nǹkan kan mi, o dẹ̀ resign o work out. Mo ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ gbà pé o mad gangan nísìnyí. That was what I was telling myself. But at that moment, I just had to do it because the situation was more than the job. I need to get my son. So it was more than the job. After all, iṣẹ́ ọ̀ngàn náà, à ń bẹ̀bẹ̀ gba owó tá a bá ṣe ni. Wọ́n dẹ̀ sọ pé olówó tá a bá rìn tá a yó, tá a bá bá rìn mọ́ ibi ò lè pààyàn.
What have you? Who had anything? Àwọn àgbà. Had kankan mọ́ tó wà lẹ́tẹ̀lẹ̀.
Yeah, so kí wá point. You know? Kí ni point? So that was what I based my decision on.
Goodness.
You know? And I would say that only pushed me to something else because tí n bá gbé gbèsè yẹn, mi ní comfort zone ń gbà mí bí ó ṣe tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn tó yẹn, ó máa ń jẹ́ ká kàn gbà ká mú síbẹ̀. But sometimes nǹkan kan míì ó máa push èèyàn tó bá ti mọ̀ pé ọmọ wọ́n lẹ́ran bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ló ní sùúrù tó yẹn, tẹ́ bá tọ́njà tó sún sẹ́yìn tó bá kan ògiri tó bá ta gbá ẹ̀, you know, bó ṣe máa kàn ẹ́ ò ní ta. Exactly. So sometimes when you think that you can't do anything about a situation, ìgbà tí ò bá sí nǹkan kan mọ́ wàá rí wípé àṣé ò lè ṣe nǹkan pa ẹ̀. Àṣé ò lè ṣe nǹkan pa ẹ̀. And that's why it's hard and it's difficult. It's something I've learned on this journey, never to force anyone in their journey in life. They have to come to that point themselves when they've had enough and they are ready to make the move. Otherwise, when you push them, little challenge tán bá rí níwájú, kàkà kan fèsì ẹ̀, wọ́n á máa fún ẹ lépè ni. Ìwọ ló dẹ̀ tì mí sí kinní o, jẹ́jẹ́ mo jókòó, kinní kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, ilẹ̀ ní kí n ṣe nǹkan báyìí, nǹkan kan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn. That's what happens when people do things without convictions. But the moment a person's mind is made up, tó ti kan point yẹn, wàhálà ẹ̀ máa bẹ̀ pé kó ní sùúrù ni, kò ní gbọ́ o, because agbára yẹn máa dé fún ni. Tó dẹ̀ máa fi push through, kò ní dúró. So you have to, we can only inspire you towards that path. We can't force you. Wọ́n fipá mú ẹṣin lọ sódò ni wọ́n fipá fún lómi.
Yeah.
So what we do on this platform is just to inspire you, to unsettle your mindset, to let you see that you have that power in you, to let you see the possibilities. But you have to take your time to get to that point that you can summon that courage and you think, yes, this is the time for me to move. That, at that point, I'm telling you, you won't look back. You won't look back. So start from even listing these things. When you list them, then you start to see possibilities. Because at the moment, people were say model up here, the only thing téèyàn rí òun ni suicide. Because èèyàn ò rí nǹkan kan míì, ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dí gan, gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀. Gbogbo àtàbá tó split ẹ̀, because gbogbo ẹ̀ ó ti di odidi monster kan téèyàn ń bá jà sí. But we need to separate it in parts. A máa yọ ǹkọ̀ọ̀kan ni, a máa yọ apá ẹ̀, a máa yọ ẹsẹ̀ ẹ̀, a máa yọ ìkànnà ẹ̀, a máa yọ ojú ẹ̀, a máa yọ ọ̀ka ẹ̀. Téèyàn máa fi dismantle odidi kìíní yẹn tán. But to face it as a huge giant, á báyàn kanlẹ̀ o. Ó máa destroy yàn. But in part lèèyàn máa pieces ẹ̀. In part, ẹsẹ̀, ìka, ojú, irun, etí, ojú tó máa fi di bọ́n máa ń dismantle mọ́tò. Wọ́n máa break odidi ọkọ̀ kan down yẹn. Bá a ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn, tá fi di kòròfo. And that's why you have to list out the parts that made up this whole demon. And then start to take out those parts one by one. Gbogbo wa mọ̀ pé láìsí spinal cord èèyàn ò lè dúró bí èèyàn náà. Èèyàn ò lè bend, èèyàn ò lè function. So tí wọ́n bá kọ́ yọ spine ogun tó ń jà yàn gan, á crumble. And then you have enough. Ogun tí ò dúró síwájú èèyàn mọ́ tó ti wà ńlẹ̀lẹ̀. You have the ability to pick these things out and take it out one by one. Á gbà yàn time, ṣùgbọ́n ó ṣeé ṣe. Ó ṣeé ṣe. Ó ṣeé ṣe. Ẹ bá fẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ sí lẹ́yìn ètò, I did for you.
Yes, yes, which I was going to say that too. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
what's it called? I will. I mean, if you reach out to Gio at the end of the show, then I will give you some materials that you can listen to.
Okay.
Very helpful materials that you can listen to.
I want them.
And
Say it now. I want them.
okay, you could, for starters, you could. I mean, his book is 12 Rules for Life. That's Dr. Jordan Peterson. Jordan like Michael Jordan. Peterson like Peter and Son. Peterson. Jordan Peterson. Dr. Jordan Peterson. So just go to his Facebook page, like his page and follow it. And go on YouTube, subscribe to his page, and as he drops lectures, trust me, he's Caucasian, but I can guarantee you It sounds like he grew up in the four walls of a black man's home. Yeah. So and these materials have really, really. I mean, Onima Sofu Ikpe marry first each time. Tibasa or Gio. Like there's a psychologist that is I mean, like I don't like putting labels. There's the far right, there's the far left, but I just want the message, the one that is the truth, and I go with the truth. So his name is Dr. Jordan Peterson. I take whatever anybody has to say once it's the truth and once it helps, and I leave the other people to struggle with whether it's black or whether it's white, or whether it's a man that has turned to a woman, whether it's a woman that has turned to a man. That's your cross. I don't need that right now, Shema. So you should let me see if I'm sure by the time you look up that page right now as we speak, I'm sure you're gonna see him. Caucasian, heavy-headed Canadian man. Yeah, that's his name. And that's the person I've always referred to, Gio. That's the person I've always referred to on the show. When I listen to, and that's the person I always refer to.
Emina,
I think that is Jordan Peterson Society. I think I just saw it.
Well, I don't. I'm not sure if just Jordan Peterson is fine.
Emina Yahoo. Right.
Thank you very much.
I think we should be calling it a day now. Well, the longest you have ever done. Almost 4 hours. And it doesn't seem like 4 hours. And people are still on the show. Wow.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Mo pàtẹ́wọ́ fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ṣì dúró. Thank you very much. I mean, it shows that nǹkan tá à ń ṣe ó make sense. My sister, if you need to, tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ká jọ sọ̀rọ̀ after the show.
Mo pàtẹ́wọ́ fún.
No problem. I will reach out to you after.
All right, cool.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining the studio and for your honesty and and I pray that you would find a way out.
Sorry, I make your program go long.
You have started the journey. Trust me, you will find a way. Trust me. 100%.
Thank you.
100%. 100%. Thank you very much.
But it is a mini water here for me still.
Ta mo gbéṣẹ́ yẹn fún náà. Bratayo. Ṣé ẹ̀ tún mọ ṣẹ́yìn mọ́ ni wọ́n ní kí ló ń jẹ́ wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀. Wọ́n máa ṣàlàyé fún mi.
All right. Let me raise you. Thank you.
All right then. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Yeah, bro. Hello. It means anything is good. Mo ti gbọ́ yín. Èèyàn kalẹ̀ yín ti. Àgbéṣẹ́ kékeré fún yín ẹ̀ lè ṣe.
Brother, would you excuse that? I'm cool, man.
No, wọ́n sọ pé it means anything is good.
Oh no, me. Brother, would you? It means everything is good.
Tíṣà kà.
To avoid stories that touch the heart.
Tíṣà kà tó ń kọ́ àwọn ọmọ ìkà. All right, my brother. Thank you very much for always.
Thank you for the opportunity again.
Joining the show and sharing your insightful views. Thank you very much. You're a blessing to this platform.
Well, thank you very much. The feeling is mutual.
I don't take it lightly, and also people on the show can testify to how you always bring a new perspective to every topic we discuss. Thank you very much.
Grateful
Yeah.
to God. Grateful to God. And we pray that God continues to preserve you for us. Whatever
Amen.
the challenges are, that God gives
Amen.
you or gives us
Oh,
the
go easy.
best strength to admit.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm really impressed that we still have some people who stayed on the show, even as we're clocking almost 4 hours. Whoa,
I know, right?
that's impressive. It's impressive. Yeah. Right. Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you everyone for taking time to listen, and I hope you have taken one thing or the other from this show. I pray that whatever we're going through, we'll find a way and we'll find help. Àwọn ìrànlọ́wọ́ tó máa ń dáàyàn padà síbi téèyàn tún ti need ìrànlọ́wọ́ yẹn kò ní ya ọ̀dọ̀ wa. We will find the real help that we desire, and we will find lasting peace.
Amen.
Ní orúkọ Elédùmarè.
Amen.
Thank you very much, my brother. Until we meet again next week, Friday. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n máa fi eléyìí ṣe lọ as usual.
Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Síbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò máa ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ká ṣe bí ẹni kú, káwọ́ ẹni tí ó ṣe dàrò ẹni. Ṣàṣà ènìyàn nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lẹ́yìn, tẹ̀rù tọmọ nífẹ̀ẹ́ ní lójú ẹni. Ọmọ aráyé abániwọ̀rọ̀ pa orí dání wọ́n. Ayé ò fẹ́ ní ìfọ̀rọ̀, orí ẹni ní pẹ́ kó yẹ ni. You gotta be strong cause the world is a battlefield. Òjò láyé ó gbé ní lọ, bá ò bá mọ̀ wẹ̀. Má ṣe lọ́la òtọ́ láì bá dé, tread softly dákun ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ilé ayé ogun ni ó gbọ̀gbọ́n. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ibi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò máa ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ṣé rántí a ò mẹ́rin ìjọba ẹ̀wẹ̀kú ẹ̀wẹ̀lẹ̀? Àwọn lọ́tẹ̀ ni wọ́n dìde wọn lájànà kó lè rínú gbọ́gbé. Àṣenìtàn bá ní ìdàrú ṣálọ̀ máa ráyé. Àwọ̀ fẹ́lẹ́ bòónù kò já àríkùn má ṣe bí. You gotta be wise to survive and keep your sanity. Ọjà ọ̀dájú ní ilé ayé, o ní láti mọ̀ ọ́n rà. Àyàgbé ọ̀gẹ̀gẹ̀ tó bá ti lówó, ọ̀yàn òun ló wà lọ́jọ́ ogún dé. Ọwọ́ epo láyé ńlá, wọ́n kì í lọ tẹ̀jẹ̀. Ara lámọ̀ á ò mọ́nú, ẹni ayé yẹ kó rọra ṣe. Ṣọ́ra, ṣọ́ra. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ o. Tíbi tí ẹ ládàlẹ̀ ayé, kò máa ṣẹ̀dá tó mọ̀ ọ́la. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o, ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́ o. Inú ẹni ṣálámọ̀, a ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gbà ọ̀rẹ́. jẹ́jẹ́. Ọ̀rẹ́ mi tó ń bẹ lábẹ́lẹ̀ ayé. Àgbà tó ti fi tó ọ̀la yòókù lọ́gbọ́n. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi o. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́. Inú ẹni ṣàlàmọ̀. A ò mẹ́ni tó fẹ́ ni. Ẹ̀sọ̀ pẹ̀lẹ́ láyé gba ọ̀rẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ ká máa ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Ikú pàlà tí ọ̀rọ̀ lè lọ́lọ́gbà ògiri. Àmọ̀sẹ̀dá tó wọ́n ti fi gbogbo ìbàjọ́ ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀. Ó jẹ́ ṣe jẹ́jẹ́ ọ̀rẹ́ mi lọ́kọ̀ sí ikú. Ayé gbẹ̀gẹ́.
Right, thank you very much, my people. Thank you for staying with me till the end of the show. Thank you for listening to everything I have to say. Thank you for those who contributed in one way or the other. Thank you for those who just listened. I pray we all find peace, long-lasting peace, and I pray that God's guiding light shed on our path, and may our darkness be illuminated. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful night. Odara.